ようこそ私のストリームへですわ。LycorisDreams here, and I welcome all you found ones to my domain. No, I'm sorry, I kind of got lost in thought in there for a bit, but surely I should be able to finish Ignis's route tonight, so let's get to it. Hold that thought though. Wait. Eh? Wait. Something's wrong. Uh-oh. Let me know if you guys can hear anything or... Wait, I think it could be on my end too because, hold on. Yeah, I'm not hearing it from my end. Oh, okay, no, like, remember that tech issue I had with my Stream Deck not connecting to OBS? Apparently, I had to uninstall and reinstall both OBS and my Stream Deck program, and so I now just realized that resetted a lot of my settings, I think. Yeah, I can see that. Like, the Elgato volume mixer is showing that there is sound. From my end, I'm not hearing. From my end itself, I'm not hearing anything. Even though, let me check. I'm glad that at least on your end, you could hear something. Use it. So thank you for letting me know. Hold on. Oh dear, why did I not? Okay. There we go. All I needed to do was like reset the advanced audio property so that both chat and myself can hear the audio. Alright, I can hear the game audio on my end now. I just needed to reset a little bit. Alright, there you go. Alright, we're in chapter 2. And I know that out of everyone who's had short routes, most likely it's Kindness, Ignis, and Rindo. Ills ended up being longer than I anticipated, especially since he was my first route. And then Messire would be last, I think. Because it seems that out of all the regulars, he's the one most familiar with Kotane. So, why do I always end up leaving this in cliffhangers though? I'm sorry guys. I always notice that when I stop, it's just like an intentional big cliffhanger and I'm like, oops. I'm sorry. Alright, let's go ahead. Last we left off, it has been revealed that Ignis cannot control his demon beast instincts to kill. I missed the cliffhanger. So basically, Ignis got told a very harsh truth, and that the reason why the fire wolves are dominant in Bestia is because due to a raid incident a couple of years ago, the fire wolves were being persecuted and attacked and all that from other beast tribes. And it was revealed that Ignis could not control his instinct to kill. So on one hand, he ended up killing off the raiders of his village, but it came at the price of killing off some of his fellow firewolves. And he had a spotty memory after that, until his uncle revealed that he ended up killing both friend and foe on that day. So now he's going through a hard time. Poor thing. What was it all for? My path, my entire life. Yeah, this is in Ignis's point of view right now. any of my convictions. All my beliefs were shattered, and my vision darkened, growing dim under the sharp moonlight. Like an idiot, the emotions began to pile in my heart. I wanted nothing more than to scream. It took everything out of me to contain it. The thin, soft hand which hung desperately to me belonged to Kotane. I had no idea what to tell her. Couldn't look at Kotane directly, so when I shifted my gaze, I spotted coincidentally the blood splatter left from my skirmish with the Minotaurs. Not only did his uncle reveal what happened at that time, a Minotaur who was able to speak actually revealed it too. So it sent him into quite a bit of a shock. In that moment, the smell of blood paints my vision red. Then... Uh-oh. I couldn't understand what I had done in this situation. I instinctively covered my mouth. Ah, him, licking his lips. Uh-oh. Oh no, I hope he's not unraveling. What was that? What was that? Why did I react that way to the blood? My memories are fragmented. I don't know what I was thinking inside the red periphery. Only an odd sensation, one that ignited in my chest. It turned my heart into a burning star. Sometime afterwards, Kororo, who Il went to retrieve, was returned to me. Also, regarding how Kotana ended up in Bestia, apparently the same person who, made her get lost in the fairy world Medio, the person who dragged her into Amasaki Island, apparently she got dragged into Bestia this day and was left to die. But she was saved from other beast tribes, and both her and Ignis eventually went together, and that's how they're together in this situation. Because he was supposed to be away for a couple of days while she was supposed to remain in the cafe, but yeah. And Canis and Il, who were the only residents at the time, had no idea what went on until they realized it. So that's why Il is here at the moment. But Canis is not. I think Canis is watching over the cafe just in case anything else happens. As we made our way back to the gate so that Il won't pass out. Yeah, remember, Il is pretty weak here in Bestia because he gets pretty cold easily and all that. Kororo stuck his body out of my arms and probed curiously around the area. Oh? In particular, he was fixed on one location, unwilling to budge. What's the matter, Kororo? Let's go home. I think he wants Ignis to come along, but... No, we need to give Ignis time. Aww. Alright, in chapter 3 we go. That night, we managed to make it back safely. To alleviate our exhaustion, we decided to rest in our respective bedrooms. As for the Minotaurs we saw jumping into the wormhole before Ignis's revelation, Canis and the GPM agents who stood guard had already taken them all into custody. A day later, all the exhaustion I accumulated in that freezing world finally began to leave me. I got up out of bed, but I couldn't shake the anxious thoughts. One thought more than the others. Yep, this was the Minotaur that told Ignis straight to his face that he was an actual killer. because you're a killer.
ビニトルの縄張りが襲われた時
Remember the raid on your stronghold.
襲ってきた魔獣を同族のビニトルもろとも全員な
The raiding beasts and your fellow firewolves. All of them. The revelations from the Minotaur and...
おい、おじき、何黙ってんの？こんな時に冗談はやめろ。
Hey, uncle, say something. This isn't funny.
俺はあの時、誰も殺さず魔獣を追い返した。
Tell him how I drove the invaders away without killing anyone. Because remember, Ignis has a policy/belief that he could fight through this world without killing anybody. You know, being able to fight for anything without resorting to taking someone's life. His beliefs were crushed as a result of this revelation.
ガキだった俺にそう教えたのはあんたらだろうが。
You're the one who told me that when I was little.
すまない、イグニス。だが、
I'm sorry, Ignis, but
お前自身が一番分かっているだろう。蘇った記憶が
you know it to
間
be
違いでは
true.
ないと。
Your repressed memories are not mistaken.
そうよ。
What is this? The image of Ignis's distraught face was burned in my mind. Ignis. We immediately headed to our respective rooms after getting here, but I haven't spoken to him since. In fact, I don't even think he ever made eye contact with me. Kororo, perhaps out of worry, slept next to me in my bed, nestling his soft, plump body against mine. Kororo is a boy though, and I swear the typos. Thanks to him, I could finally wake from my half-asleep, half-dreaming state of consciousness. Thanks, Kororo. I guess it's no use for me to dwell about it. I patted him as a gesture of thanks. Ah, he's learning how to speak. What's that, Kororo? Don't think I ever knew. In the first 8 chapters of the game before splitting into respective routes depending on your dialogue, we encountered Kororo while visiting Bestia for the first time. And we were trying to find his family of sea beasts, but they ultimately got slaughtered. So that's why Kororo was hanging around in the cafe with us. Seems like he's close to all the residents, but the ones he's close to the most are Ignis, Karia, who is working part-time in the cafe, and Kotane. Food. Cute. I know. So cute. Huh? My fingertips froze, processing Kororo's abrupt demonstration of speech. Yeah, like, it seems that he can slowly speak, you know, human dialect and all that. Ah, food. Ignis. Cute. Ignis. Food. Ignis. Hi. Oh, Nazo, hello. Welcome to the stream, how are you? Kororo eagerly flapped his hands in his tail, repeating those 2 words. Part of me started to think it was a desperate plea. What? Food? You want some food? Are you saying you want me to feed you like I did for Ignis? And hello, Rowland. Hello. Welcome to the stream. How are you? The thing is, I had never heard or seen Kororo nag me for food like this before. Oh, that's a first. But because he was, I picked him up and we headed down to the kitchen. I placed slices of raw fish onto a plate that Kororo might eat, since he resembled a seal, and I figured seal enjoyed fresh fish. But... oh? Uh-oh, it looks like he doesn't like fish! Kororo expressed no interest in the fish. Instead, he shied away from it, completely disinterested. Huh? I took it to mean he wasn't hungry, but was he just repeating some words he recently learned? It was unclear to me what he meant by those words. So cute. I know, I'm about to die again. As I was completing my mise en place for today's breakfast menu, the regulars began to arrive. Nendo, who came in early, Dromi, who accompanied him. Messire, back from the demon world, Canis, who held down the Minotaurs yesterday, the somewhat sleepy-looking ill, and the forlorn Ignis, thus completing the party. So everyone's here. As we all partook in the meal, I recounted what had happened the previous day to Messire and the others. Then, after I finished my synopsis, Messire fell into deep thought. So, Ignis is a dangerous and abnormal beast, and they put a target on his back to defeat him at all costs. Huh? Well, look who's talking. Aren't those bulls even more dangerous? Canis appeared to be in agreement, nodding calmly but affirmatively. However, it seems strange to think of their story as a hoax, seeing how reckless they're being. The wormholes that the Minotaurs are using are a one-way ticket. Once they fall in, that's it. Which means they have no means of returning home. Isn't that bizarre? Which makes me think if the Minotaurs are being brainwashed by someone bigger, probably someone who has a big grudge against Ignis, maybe? Well, you're right. Those guys shouldn't know about the GPM wormhole or the gate located here. Hi, I'm late. What happened? Is Ignis okay? Nah, you're good. You're just in time. Hi, Dansuke. Welcome to the stream. How are you? And nope, he's not okay. I mean, he returned back to the cafe with us, but oh boy, the poor thing. Which means they're taking drastic steps to get at my bro. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, Yuzu. I didn't fulfill your first request of head pats, so I shall do so now. So, thank you for the head pats. And yeah, regarding saving, I will do that shortly as soon as the dialogue choices come up. So, setting aside the truth of the matter, as long as this odd notion that Ignis is a threat exists as an impetus. Minotaurs will jump into every wormhole they can find in order to raid this town. Is that correct? I mean, he came through the gate to find us after we were kidnapped and left in Bestia to die. Poor Il, he was pretty much freezing up. So it seems. By the way, are you okay, Il? You seem a little out of it. Oh, it's nothing. I'm simply recovering from yesterday's overexertion. Please carry on. Messire picked up where they left off. I'm doing good, with my mom at home right now. Dad went to the arcade first. We're planning to catch up in a bit. Just eating breakfast right now too. I see. And of course, as always, I have to ask, what are you having for breakfast? For now, if Enchanté and its surrounding areas are under threat of a deadly act, then we can't just sit idly by either. The beasts themselves aren't a big problem for us, but they absolutely will be for the innocent people living here. Then Ignis, who had maintained silence this whole time, finally opened his mouth. Ooh, cheese sticks with rice. Ooh, that sounds good. Oh no, Ignis. Easy. I just gotta remove myself from this place. Problem solved. But that's... Out of reflex, I interjected before I could complete my thought. Out of the question. Ignis, I know. Huh? Monsieur, please convince him to stay. That's out of the question, Ignis. Getting rid of you won't solve anything. Think about it. You've got the biggest appetite here. If you disappear, then Enchanté will run out of business. As a result, if this place were to close its doors, that would be a catastrophe, wouldn't it? That's right. Besides, the Minotaurs are the troublemakers here. Please talk sense into him, guys. You've done nothing wrong. I don't think it's appropriate to consider you the problem here. I hope I'm not overstepping any bounds here, but you don't sound like yourself, Ignis. Shut up. There you go. At least part of you has returned. If you're you know, well enough to retort with shut up. Oh, but I'm still concerned. Although it was undeniable that his demeanor was atypical, Ignis was unwilling to argue his stance any further. After listening to their exchange, I let out a heavy sigh of relief. Everyone thinks of Ignis as an integral part of this place. That's right. Enchanté was a home away from home for them, and kicking him out was absolutely out of the question. I'm glad, as I muttered under my breath. I locked eyes with Ignis, who seemed to have picked up on my voice. But he remained speechless and blithely turned away. Oh no. I knew it. He had been avoiding me since the previous night. I just knew it. Ah, Candace is probably picking up on it too. Let's get back on track. The Minotaurs and their rampages are a threat to the human world. Under no circumstances can they continue. I believe we should take action. Hoi! Don't think you could just try to do this by yourself. You guys don't have to get involved. This is between me and Bestia. I'll clean up my own mess. Rendo, please. Oh dear, you seem determined to do everything by yourself today, don't you? Ignis, you big fuck, let your homies help you. For real! So tell me, how exactly do you plan to solve this issue? Have you any idea at all where the Minotaurs are hiding? True.
他の凶悪な魔獣にも伝わるかもしれません。
That'd be a bigger problem too. Besides, if we delay taking action for too long, other beasts may become privy to the wormholes linking this world and theirs.
そうなってしまえばこれ幸いと、アルムム以外の魔獣たちまで一斉に人間界に押し寄せる可能性もあるでしょう。
By that point, the Minotaurs won't be the only beast requiring our attention in the human world.
兄貴、ここは皆さんに協力してもらった方がいいっすよ。
Yes, Dromy, please talk some sense into him too. Hey bro, maybe you should line up and let them help you here.
物理的な力しかねえ俺らだけじゃさすがにどうにもできないっす。
It doesn't seem like brute force will be enough to handle this issue.
平和な人間界に味を占めて戦争まがいなことを仕掛けそうなやつだって魔獣には5万といるじゃないっすか。
Yeah, for once Dromy is right. This man's, I swear. There are millions of beasts out there starting to take interest in this world, and who knows what wars or disasters await. Monsieur and the others consider Ignis's silence a silent agreement, so they carried on discussing a plan of action.
じゃあ話をまとめると、俺たちが取るべき行動の候補は2つ。
So, let's sort this out. I see two possible options for us.
まず1つ目、この町に繋がってるっていうベスティアのホールの脅威をなくすこと。
First, we could find a way to close up all the wormholes that link Bestia to this town.
それは確かに重要ですが、現実的な意見ではありませんね。
That would be the best case scenario, though likely
ホ
unfeasible.
ールは基本的に我々の手にも負えない未知の現象ですし、
Plus, even the GPM is starting to look into this too, so that's new to them as well. Wormholes are a largely unexplored phenomenon that even we here are not fully equipped to deal with.
だね。俺も天崎島の件はともかくとして、ホールなら何でもかんでも閉じれるわけじゃないし。
Yep, true. Plus, with the incident at Amasaki Island, it's not like I can close up any wormhole on a whim, even if I wanted to. Oh yeah, it took everyone's efforts to close that giant wormhole on Amasaki Island, so no way.
ならせいぜい発生する場所を事前に特定して魔獣の侵入を警戒するぐらいかな。
Then, at the least, perhaps what we should do is preemptively identify where they could be hiding and prepare for a beast invasion.
しかしそれでは後手に回り続けてしまう。であれば
But that would put us on the defensive, in which case...
そう、2つ目の候補。こっちが大本命になるかな。
Ah, in other words, be decoys/targets. Yep. The second option would be for us to become the big prize.
アルムム。彼らがわざわざ戦いの場を人間界にする理由をなくすこと。
We'll have to eliminate the entire reason the Minotaurs have for coming to the human world. Which means... Ignis? If we can eliminate the notion that they must eliminate Ignis at all costs, then they wouldn't have to come here in the first place, right?
そういうことになるな。それさえ解決すれば人間界が戦場となること。
Ah. That's right. If we can find some way to redirect our ear, however, whatever, then perhaps we'll spare this world from becoming a battleground. The reason the Minotaurs started attacking Ignis all of a sudden was...
そもそもよ、正気を失って暴れる魔獣なんざてめえ以外にはいねえんだよ。
Maybe they could fake Ignis's death. That was one of the things I thought of, too. No other beasts lose control of themselves or rampage other than you.
魔獣はもともと自分勝手で残酷。
Beasts are self-centered and cruel.
だからこそそれを当然のこととして狂わねえ。どいつも理性を保ってる。
He was also implying here that Ignis is the only one who would lose control. For that precise reason, they never go berserk. Yeah, the berserk state. Each retains their sanity.
てめえは違う。 戦い狂って暴れ殺す
However, you are different. You fight, go berserk, run rampant, and kill.
理性を保って戦う俺たちよりもよっぽど厄介じゃねえか
You're far more dangerous than us, who fight with our consciences intact. Wait, what the heck are you going on about, Fire?
見出してイグニスの特殊性
And also, welcome to the stream, how are you? Seems they fear Ignis' special trait.
便宜上暴走本能と呼ぶかそれを何とかすればよいという話になるな
For now, let's refer to it as his rampage instinct. We need to deal with it somehow. Rampage instinct, an instinct held only by Ignis that sees Arumama as a danger. He loses his mind, attacking both enemy and ally when in a rampage. I'm stressed as if, so I'm punching the orc. I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about what you just initially typed in chat. Ultra Instinct. Goku, please don't bring that shit up.
それができれば苦労しねえよ
We wouldn't be here if I could.
だろうね。聞く限り無意識的なもののわけだし、あの時帝が困惑した理由も納得だ。
I figured as much. As far as I can tell, it sounds involuntary. Now I understand why Mikado was confused back then. Goku, my nuts. Okay, you are... Hold on. Alright, you're getting bunked for that. There you go. Nindo, you're a bitch. Oh god! Oh my god. Dansuke, you're terrible and nuts. Oh Jesus. Figured as much. As far as I can tell, it sounds involuntary. Now I understand why Mikado was confused back then. No, you are not gonna start with these nut jokes again or I'm bonking you to the void. You... Yuzu... Nah, I am not going to entertain you with that. No way! I figured... Let's see. Oops. Oops. Yeah.
ガキの頃に身内から聞いたことがあって
Yeah, Mikado was confused at this time. Well, I first heard about this when I was a little kid.
魔獣は激しい戦いで闘争本能を刺激しまくると正気を失って見境なく暴れちまうんだ
Nah, you're simply maidenless. I guess bees overstimulate their combat instincts if they fight too hard too long. They go mad and start raging uncontrollably.
その件に関しては僕も初耳だな
Ah. Yeah, because it never came up in the GPM research. And remember, Mikado is part of the research department. Huh? This is the first I've heard of that phenomenon. Nephilim maidens cast Nansuke! Wait! Maiden these nuts in your mouth. No! If we take the Minotaur's word for it, then we wouldn't have seen anything like it from any beast other than Ignis. Thank you, Yuzu. I'm glad Nin's bonky mode comes in handy. Oh, but in terms of their sanity, or lack thereof, seems like all the Minotaurs we've encountered were in a similar state. So how do we explain that? I posed the question sincerely, which prompted Rindo to pull out a tablet and fiddle with it for a bit. I knew it. I knew it. I had the suspicion they were either brainwashed or drugged. The Minotaurs, I mean. Mikado already answered that question. It seems like he found traces of drugs in the Minotaurs. They were drugged? Right. However, he has yet to discern from where these drugs came from. Whatever those drugs were, they had to be serious.
正気を失う代わりに身体能力を上げる。
Ah.
そういう類のものだね。あれは。
In a nutshell, it increases their physical prowess, you know, in exchange for their sanity. That's the kind of drug we're dealing with. You know, physical power, physical prowess. I swear. Drugs. I could hardly fathom such a thing ever existing in Bestia. Which leads me to ask, is it from here?
ともかくだ。つまりアルムムたちはてめえらのサガで狂ってるわけじゃねえ。
Anyway, the Minotaurs going bonkers aren't what should be concerning all of you.
戦いで狂う魔獣はやっぱ俺だけってことだ。
At the end of the day, I'm the only one who goes berserk in combat. Oh, Ignis.
ここで気遣っても仕方ないし、そこは素直に認めるしかないよね。同じビニトルの男も肯定したって話したし。
I guess he's right. We'll have to face it. The other firewolf corroborated this too. If they're not brainwashed and they're drugged, that means that the guy must be in the place Rindy's not so works in. Oh gosh. Beep. Well, true. I mean, the GPM is the place where they handle non-human beings. I wonder... Is there any way that his rampage instinct could be cured using Ill's magic? I might have come off as unreasonable, if not totally naive, but when I glanced over to Ill, it seems he put serious consideration to my inquiry.
精神的な抑制ですか。それに近しい法術は得得していますが、現状では何とも言えませんね。
Yeah, remember what it was like in Ill's route too. You know, that time that he ended up being monotone / robotic. You know, being a soulless vessel to God. So I'm not surprised he would have this kind of magic too. When it comes to psychological control, I do possess magic which could aid me. But I'm unsure if it will... I'm unsure if it will help in our case.
特にそれがイグニスの根幹。例えるのならば、人間でいうところの生理現象のようなものであれば、
Especially if we're dealing with something that comprises the core of who Ignis is, in terms of his psychological response.
いくら抑制しようとも、必ずタガが外れる時が来るでしょう。
Ah, no matter how we try to contain his power, eventually the mind will give. The mind will give in. You have a point.
ま、とにかくわかんないものは仕方ないよ。やれることからやっていこう。まずは暴走本能について詳しく調査かな。
Would be good to have that, Monsieur, so that's a good point to make. Well, we can't dwell on stuff we won't know. Let's find solutions instead. First, let's investigate his rampage instinct. Monsieur cut in, displaying his trademark smile. Then, in a hushed tone of voice, he spoke solemnly.
あとは万が一だけどさ、イグニスが本当に暴走したら、俺たちはそれを止めなきゃいけないし。
Also, in the 1 in a million chance that Ignis goes on a rampage, then we would have to stop him.
曲がりなりにも実力は知ってるから、そりゃもうきっと本気で下手をしたら命のやり取りになるかもしれない。
Since we know how tough Ignis Two Hands over there is, we have to be careful. Could be the difference between life and death. Now, Lycoris, I have a visual novel recommendation. Oh, you do?
そうなったらどこが舞台だろうと周辺への影響もただじゃ済まないしさ。まああとは
In that case, no matter where we are, we're risking a lot of collateral damage, so
同じアンシャンテの常連でもっとシンプルに言えば仲間同士でそんなことしたくないじゃない。
As a fellow Enchante regular, or, let's be honest, as friends, we don't want that, do we? Zero, don't make me cry over here. Jesus. Saya no Uta. Yuzu, I know what it is. Huh? Hooked on you? Hmm? Never heard of it, Fire. What's that about? Silence hovered in the air between us. But in that silence, everyone's renewed resolve seemed to find its footing.
よし。ならばやはり、イグニスの過去についてよく知る他のビニトルに話を聞くべきだ。
Very well. Perhaps we should try speaking with the other firewolves who are aware of Ignis's past. Oh, you know, dating killers. In other words, I will be surrounded by yandere then. Or yangire, rather. Unless there's a love-related reason, but yeah. Okay, why do you people react this way all the time to Saya? Don't get it. Enlighten me, please. I mean, I know what it is. But honestly, not yandere, just literal killers. Then yangire instead. Yangire are people who go mentally ill for non-love related reasons. What's the Saya thing Yuzu's talking about? Saya no Uta is a visual novel as well. However, basically, I get that, Fire, but I'm saying that I'm putting them in an entirely different category then. Either way, yangire and yandere are those who are mentally ill / become psycho for whatever reasons they have. Also, for context, Saya no Uta, it's a suspense psychological horror eroge visual novel. So basically, very much not safe for work. Yes, it's psychological horror. Play that one. Oh my god. For reasons. Oh, come on. We both know what the reasons are, Fire, and there's no point of trying to deny it, too. Oh, no. And I wonder, Hooked on You is... What is it? Is it canon to Dead by Daylight? Because, yeah, it's basically a Dead by Daylight dating sim, and I'm like, I'm scared. I am intrigued, but at the same time, I'm like, should I ask? Psychological horror is my thing. Oh yeah, psychological horror will definitely get to me all worked up. Although, you've seen me how I am with horror in general, so pretty much I'm gonna be scared of everyone and everything. Like little nightmares. Yeah, I figured little nightmares would also fall into that kind of horror. Oh my god, Yuzu! There's like 10 sex scenes only. Jesus Christ. Do I sense you needing a bonking, Fire? Monkus. I know, that's good. Okay, you're definitely asking for a bonking now. What? No! Yeah, that's what I thought. Guess this means we're bound for Bestia. Ill, do me a favor and bundle up, got it?
次回はそれを念頭に、いわゆる気合を入れて臨みましょう。
I'm a truth speaker. Sometimes I really want to force feed you a bar of soap, even if you're not the one swearing. Yes, I'll be sure to keep that in mind this time around. Make every moment count. And so the discussion concluded. Monsieur and some of the others arranged for a trip to the Firewolf stronghold the very next morning. However, If I were to stay here all alone again, there's a chance that the suspicious person would return to fling me back in. Yeah, to fling you back into Bestia to die. Or when do we play Euphoria? Now Euphoria, I believe I've heard of that before too. So let's see. Oh boy. Oh boy. I always found it questionable and, you know, major sussy. And apparently, according to some sources, there's an anime for it too, so I'm just like, oh boy. So it was decided that it would be safer if I traveled with them. At the end of our discussion, as everyone rose from their seats, Ignis! A disclaimer said it contains over-the-top violence. There you go. I called upon him instinctively, seeing as he was the last to rise from his seat. What do you want? Nothing in particular, but... Then don't stop me. Ignis spat these words out, saying nothing else as he turned his back to me and stomped upstairs. What? Are you gonna be cold to me right now? Boy, if I were not feeling sorry for you, A piece of silverware caught my eye. It sat on the edge of a plate, and I saw as it lost balance and it fell onto the table. The spot where it fell was the same where Ignis was sitting earlier. Oh, then I realized the breakfast I had prepared for Ignis was hardly touched. Oh, he didn't eat his food. It was left uneaten, long since cooled. Once everyone left the scene, I stared blankly for a few moments at Ignis's leftover breakfast. I tried my best that I could to make him feel at least a little better. I even used some of his favorite seasonings and whatnot, but I guess it wasn't to his liking. No, that wasn't it. At the moment for Ignis, his entire belief system, his entire way of life had utterly crumbled. He had no strength in him to enjoy a meal. I reminded myself of this. Despite how hard I tried to convince myself, it was nevertheless impossible to lament.
店主さん、ちょっといいっすか?
Miss Owner, mind if we talk for a sec? Just as I was succumbing to my own gloom, Dromi appeared all of a sudden behind me and called out to me. What's the matter? I thought you were on your way to Bestia already.
いや、なんつうか、もやもやするもんがあって、戻ってきちゃったんす。
Let's see. However, there are barely other VNs close in quality to Euphoria, must I say. Can't speak of recommendations to anyone on playing through it, since the contents can truly be devastatingly disturbing. It's just that I can't physically get disturbed / grossed out. Gotcha. Anyway, back to vibing with Lycoris's Enchanté. And thank you again for the headpads user. Thank you. Oh, well, something's been bothering me, so I came back, if it's okay. What's bothering you?
さっきの話し合いのことっす。
It's our discussion from earlier. I detected a hint of reservation in Dromi's voice as he opened up.
なんか、勝手に兄貴の本能を直すみたいな流れになっちまったじゃないですか。
So, you know how they're trying to find a way to fix my bro's instincts or whatever? Oh, right. Does that worry you?
当然じゃないですか。魔 獣の中でただ一人兄貴だけが暴走するってことは
Can't you see? If he's the only beast that rampages like that.
すげえ特別だからっすよね。兄貴が最強無敵な理由もそこにあるかもしれないんすよ。
Dromi is basically a friend of Ignis's. Doesn't that make him special? I mean, maybe that's why my bro's the strongest of all time. Anyway, Kote starts saying stuff with her long hair swaying in the Among Us more is... Ah, freaking Among Us.
だからその強さにつながってるもんを解決っつうか取り上げられるのはど
So,
うしても我慢できないっす。
he's drawn me like one of your French girls. Oh my god. So, taking something like that from him, something connected to who he is unbearable to think about. I fell speechless, surprised by the sentiment behind Dromi's emotional complaint. The man I saw before me was not the usual dull and haphazard lad that he is, but instead I saw a man who admired and wanted to protect Ignis's strength.
もちろんこのままじゃ危険なのは俺だって分かってるっすよ。
Of course, I get that things are kind of dangerous given the circumstances.
兄貴は強いからこそ兄貴なんす。
But my bro is my bro because he's strong.
スティアを変えたいと必死にあがいてトップに立ったその力は兄貴の奇跡そのものなんすよ。
It was his powers that led him to the top, and making Bestia a better place is the legacy that will follow him forever. Dromi cried out passionately, reminding me of the heart behind Ignis's mission in life. That's...
あんただって危ないところを兄貴の力に散々守られてきたじゃないですか。
Remember how many times he used his powers for good to save your life? Don't you remember?
それを今さらこの店にとって危険だから切り捨てるって。
And now you just want to change who he is? All because it's too dangerous for people here?
そんなのいくらなんでも都合が良すぎるんじゃないですか。
Isn't that a little too convenient? By this point, Dromi was almost yelling, but he made a good point. But... Alright, finally I can save. But... Ignis doesn't want this. Dromi, I'm not so sure that Ignis wants things to stay as they are. He doesn't want to kill anyone. He doesn't want anyone to kill anyone. That's why he accepted this fate. I think that's what he desires.
それはそうっすけど。
That might be true, but... Dromi, if you really think of Ignis as your bro, I need you to cooperate with us. If we leave him alone and he ends up going on a rampage and kills someone, the Ignis you know and love will completely fall apart, and I'm not sure we'll get him back. I tried my best to persuade him, but he seemed unconvinced.
だからそういう問題じゃなくて。
That's not the issue here. He reached his emotional breaking point, taking his anger out on a nearby table.
兄貴が兄貴じゃなくなったら意味がねえっつうか。
If my bro isn't my bro anymore, then it's all for nothing.
俺と兄貴の描いた夢が全部無駄になるっつうか。
The vow he and I made will all go down the drain. Vow? The second I asked, Dromi cut himself off. Perhaps he realized how irate he had become that he hurried to cover his mouth.
ごめんなさいっす。そのついカッとなって。
I'm sorry. I kinda lost it there.
さんに不満ぶつけたって何の意味もねえのに。申し訳ないっす。
I know it's meaningless to take it out on you, Miss Owner, so I
ち
apologize.
ょっとベスティアで頭冷やしてくるっす。また明日あっちのゲームで。
I'll head back to Bestia and cool off a little bit. See you at the gate tomorrow. I was flabbergasted. I've never seen Dromi so worked up before, but it came as no surprise, given how much he idolized Ignis' strength. I suppose it was an understandable reaction. Still, both Dromi and I cared deeply about Ignis, that much was undeniable, but our opinions for how he should proceed differ so much. This guy's so stupid. What can I even say? If Ignis had overheard our conversation, what would he have said? There I was, laying on my bed without much to do. So I'm
ベスティアでただ一人の正気を失う化け物。
the only beast in all of Bestia that loses his head, huh? Everything that Minotaur and my uncle said played repeatedly in my head. The lies, the setup. I wondered how many times I'd replayed that scene to myself. But when I gave it some thought, even the dumbest, most knuckle-headed beast I fought had never gone so cuckoo that they blacked out.
笑えねえな。
This stuff is serious. I've had my fair share of fights, probably even more than I thought, but it never occurred to me until now. Oh, Bestia as in Beastland. Yeah, basically Bestia is a home to beast demons. It's different from Messir's place where, you know, he's the demon lord, and demons there are a different sort. Yes, I started to realize how much of a total moron I've been this whole time.
だったんだ。今まで俺がやってきた意味は。
What was it all for? What have I been doing? No, the real question was,
何なんだ。
what am I? Oh no.
一体どういうことなんだ。
Just what kind of monster am I, really? I felt like a stranger in my own body. Any minute I could lose my sanity and murder someone, friend or foe. That to me was scarier. I could attack anyone as opposed to someone who killed intentionally. I'm a killer. I have killed other beasts, no less. Even worse, my kin, the fire wolves who I tried to protect. And Kotane, she heard it all.
こういうベスティアでの俺の立場ってのが話に上がった時点で避けられると思ってたぜ。
Well, I thought you might not want to be around me once my position in Bestia came up.
けどお前、あんまそういうの気にしねえんだな。一応隣にいる俺は殺し殺されの世界のトップなんだぜ。
But you don't care about that, do you? I'm at the top of this killed or be killed world. You know that, right?
なんだよ、その微妙な顔。
What the hell's with that look? Well, be that as it may, you've kept true to your creed, which means you've never killed anyone, right? I just don't get how someone can hold any fear or hatred towards you for something you haven't even done. Oh man. Seems like I lied to her about my vow never to kill a long, long time ago. It strained me to entertain the thought.
さあ、何バカ正直にここへ戻ってきてんだ、俺は。
Damn, what am I doing coming back here so willy-nilly? Let's go home, Ignis.
それなら、お前らだけで戻れ。
If you're going home, you should go alone. I'll... I should have pushed her away back then. No. Even before that, before she heard the truth. Kotane's warmth. I cringed to myself thinking that I might have taken her kindness for granted this whole time. Oh no, don't think that. I used these two monstrous hands, stained by the blood of who knows who, to touch her. All the comforting memories that I had of Kotane were being overridden by fearful ones. What if on that day, at that moment, I had turned into a monster and had pointed my fangs at Kotane? Once I started down this rabbit hole, there was no turning back. Because I had already taken a dear friend's life with my hands. Oh yeah, that's also a thing that got him to this breaking point too. Remember when I said he slaughtered both friend and foe when the stronghold was being invaded? Turns out he killed one of his closest friends, and the Minotaur had proof of that. Dang it, I'm ugly crying. My mom's starting to stare at my dumbass. I know. I'm crying too. Like, what the God? Like I feel sorry for, you know, everyone. And I know Il's Root had me, like, breaking into sobs. But, yeah, I'm tearing up over here too. There's no guarantee that I wouldn't do the same to Kotane, and yet... She's so weird. Why would she even take my hand after learning the truth? Why wouldn't she fear that I would kill her the moment she touched me? Why would she allow this bloodthirsty monster to sit inside of her cafe? Damn it! I don't know what's going on anymore. My head was ready to burst, packed to the brim with revelations and confusion. As I let my emotions get the better of me once more, the door swung open. I shot up just in time to see... Canis. Oh yeah, Canis is a silent observer and he senses something is wrong between us. Oh, it's you, Canis. Don't you know how to knock? Ah, they're roommates. I see. This is my room too, if you recall. Why are you so depressed? Usually, if I recall correctly, you would... leap at the opportunity to dole out a beating on the Minotaurs with great enthusiasm. Shut up. You don't know me. If I recall correctly, out of the Enchanté regulars, Ignis is the youngest one out of the bunch. Yes, probably even younger than Rindo himself too. As for who is the oldest, I'd say that would fall between either Il or Messir. Now would be a great time to get some Sonic. Ah, it would be nice to have some food too because, like, I'm feeling sad. You're right. I know nothing about you. We were born at different times in different circumstances. We are nothing alike. Chili dogs, popcorn chicken, churros, shakes. Hey, no stress eating. Oh, come off it! Leave me alone. I've been working hard on my dieting and you're gonna tell me not to stress eat? However... You're working out, remember? That may be true, but that doesn't mean I will limit myself from eating. Yeah, I want to drown my feelings on the bottom of a bottle right now too. Watch, when I go in my meeting / break, I'm gonna like bust out like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna bust out like a cocktail of, I guess, yogurt soju and chocolate sake, just because. I can't. Don't let anime boys force cake down your throat. Ha! I can tell that Kotane's mood has dropped because of your sudden need for distance. Yeah, you dummy. You've been making her sad. Be thankful that Candace has pointed this out to you, or you would have just... Oh, it's my cheat day. Bust out a buffet. Nah, when I go for cheat day, I always make sure to be selective of what I really want to eat on that day. He hit me right where it hurts. I couldn't even muster up the energy to howl. Well, don't blame me. Forgive me for being a little upset about learning I'm a bloodthirsty murderer who could fly off the handle at any moment. I see. So cake. I mean, I have yet to go to one, but I keep hearing about cake buffets and all that. Oh my god. Natsuke, I lagged a bit and the first thing I hear is don't let anime boys force cake down your throat. Monkas. Fire said it. Kinda. So basically this Ignis route is fucked right now. Probably. She's the most vulnerable of all. How could I ever get near her? Ignis. That is no excuse. Yeah, you did! Yeah, you did. You typed it in chat. Do you want me to send a screenshot right now? Ha? Don't pin this on me. I had to read it out loud because this is my chat. Speaking of cakes down our throats, I did bake a cake yesterday and it came out not all that bad. Ooh, what kind of cake did you bake, Yuzu? Yes, Ignis, it's no excuse to being a dick towards Kotane, okay? You express all this concern for her, yet here you are, hurting her whether you know it or not. You hardly even touched the food which she went out of her way to prepare for you. That's... Yeah, this is no excuse to cheat on math tests. No, not relevant. Now, it was a turtle chocolate cake. Ooh, shit! That's one of my favorite kinds of cakes. Turtle chocolate. It's been a while since having it in any form, be it a regular one or cheesecake form. Oh, hello, Tem. Hello. Welcome to the stream. How are you? And, uh-oh. What happened? I understand your fear. I'm not telling you to forget and act like nothing happened. But for all of our sakes, you should be telling Kotane your true feelings. Or you should tell Kotane your true feelings. At this rate, she will spiral into despair. You have killed a man. Double caked up on a Thursday. Nah, it's Friday here. You wouldn't bother coming back here if all you wanted to do was ruin her mood. Those were Candace's parting words before he left the room. Goddamn nosy little Dullahan. Did you really come in here just to lecture me? I don't need you or anyone else to tell me. I'm well aware. Just as I muttered this to myself. Ah, now you're hungry, huh? Tell her your true feelings. Ignis are, ayo, Kone, you caked up on a Saturday night. Aha. I don't know whether to bonk you or not, but for my sake, for my sanity, I'll just not. By this point, I was growing resentful of how my stomach could howl almost as loud as I could even now. Well, guess I did skip breakfast, even if it's right in front of me. Can't be helped, I suppose.
待てよ。
Wait a minute. That's weird. I only skipped one meal. Why am I this hungry? I mean,
俺はここまで食欲なんてあったか。
did I even have this much of an appetite before? When I first met the old man, no matter how exhausted I was, a single meal was enough to satisfy me, but... Yeah, that time that Kotene ended up cooking a lot of food, and I wonder... I howl when I see the not safe for work chat lights up. I sat alone in my room. Without much ado, Kororo was laying comfortably in my arms as I stared at a faint stain on my wall. This feels odd. Normally, at this hour, I start getting anxious if I'm not doing something. It was better to close up shop at this point. My only reservation was thinking about a customer who wanted a cup of coffee. But I just can't. I didn't want to think about the leftover food, so I ran back to my room. The one who's hurting the most is supposed to be Ignis, right? At the very least, I wanted to get my body up and moving. So I got to my feet and pulled the book from my shelf that Grandpa had left behind. Maybe I can learn a little bit about Ignis and the beasts. But... Greek mythology, ancient Egyptian mythology, Norse mythology, biblical mythology. There are so many mythologies involving animal races, it was hard to pin down. Of course, animals aren't like fairies, angels, or demons, where their existence is limited to certain texts and regions. Okay, I don't really like animals nor pets, but I would love having a Kororo, goddamn. Right? I want one, oh my god. Like, I want to take him home with me. Or at least, like, have a, like a plushie or something. Me too. In that case, what if I... narrow it down to the mythologies that include werewolves like Ignis. While flipping through the pages, I heard someone rap on the door. That force of the knock startled me. I set the book down on my bed, leaving the page open next to Kororo. Come in! I signaled my consent for them to enter as I rush over to the door. I knew it was you, Ignis. Thought he had been completely avoiding me, but now here he stood. It was impossible to contain my confusion. At the same time, now that he was here, I forced myself to act as normal as possible, so I began to speak. What's the matter? Did you need anything? Oh, let me guess. Are you hungry? You didn't eat any of your breakfast. I'll fix you some food right now, so stay put.
ちげえ。いや、腹は減ってるが。お前のとこに来た理由はそれじゃねえ。
No. Well, I am hungry, but that's not why I'm here. Oh. Ignis took a deep breath, and with an uncharacteristically solemn voice, he said,
悪かった。何の説明もなくお前を避けて。
I'm sorry for avoiding you without any explanation. Good. Own up to it, dude.
それからお前がわざわざ作ってくれた飯も残しちまった。
And probably the most important part, wasting all that food you made. It's okay. You don't have to apologize for that. I know you were confused. Besides, you were upset, weren't you? So it's...
それでも今詫びを入れとかなきゃならねえと思った。
Even so, figured I'd man up and apologize to your face.
明日の遠征の結果がどうなろうと、俺は。
Because no matter how things go down in tomorrow's mission,
もう二度とアンシャンテには来ねえからな。
I'm never coming back to Enchante. What? This guy. How? Oh god, there are a lot of emotions that are pulling at me for him just saying this. I don't know which to go with first. Why? Oh my god. What? His words took me by complete surprise. Wait, what? What do you mean?
そのままの意味だよ。俺がここにいたら危ねえだろ。
I said what I said. It's dangerous for me to stay here. Ah, man, you, Canis, and Elle have been all stubborn towards me when it comes to, like, I'm not returning because reasons XYZ. But at least in Ille's case, it's understandable because he ended up resetting into an empty vessel and all that. But still. Honestly, though. But that's why we're going tomorrow, to find a solution to this whole fiasco. Didn't you hear everyone object to the idea of you leaving Enchante? That it's out of the question? You've managed to contain your rampage up to this point so you can...
簡単に解決できる問題なわけねえだろ。
It's not that simple. It's way more complicated than that.
イルも言ってただろうが。俺の根幹にあるものは抑えられね
Il even said so. No one can tame something so linked to who I am. Licorice, that Nyan shirt is throwing me off in that pose. He's making me want to laugh. I know. These dudes and their impulses to disappear. Again, with Il, it's understandable. Although we eventually... Yeah, these dudes and their impulse to disappear. Makes me wonder if Rindo and Ignis... Rindo and Messire will be like this. Oh no, I fear what's gonna happen in Messire's route the most, so I'm just like, oh god.
え。俺にとってのあの本能はあって当たり前のものなんだよ。今となっちゃそれが嫌ってほどにわかる。
That goddamn instinct will forever be a part of me. I know this, now more than ever, and it kills me.
俺だって好きでこんなこと言ってんじゃねえ。
I'm not saying this because I want to.
けどな、振り返ってみりゃ確かにここ最近の俺はおかしいんだよ。
But when I think about it, it feels like a whole bunch of funky stuff's been happening. What do you mean, funky?
ゆうべアルムムと戦った後、俺は奴らの流した血の匂いで一瞬だが意識が途切れたんだ。
Last night, after fighting the Minotaurs, for a second I kinda blacked out after getting a whiff of their blood. Is that...
目の前が真っ赤に染まって意味わかんねえ衝動に襲われた。
Yeah, it's like my vision turned red, like I was consumed by this vicious impulse.
感覚には覚えがあんだよ。あの時ビニトルの縄張りを襲われて。
I recognized that sensation that day when the Fire Wolf stronghold was raided.
正気を失って周りにいる連中全員を皆殺しにした時と同じもんだ。
When I lost my damn mind and murdered everyone in sight, it was the same exact feeling. Oh no.
ことね、俺はな、
Hotane,
一歩間違えりゃそのままあの場にいたお前をぶっ殺してたかもしれねえんだよ。
If I so much as stepped in the wrong direction, I could have killed you right there and then. Ignis was barking. He bit his lip to contain his fury.
そんなことをする可能性がわずかでもあんなら、俺は二度とこのアンシャンテに来ねえ。
As long as there's even a sliver of a chance of that happening, I'll never return to Enchante.
そんだけ伝えに来た。
That's all I want. That's all I wanted to say. See ya. He ended his remark, spinning on his heel to leave my room. What? Wait. Wait! I quickly grabbed his hand, hoping it would stop him. The moment I did so, however, Ignis yanked his arm away from me. It was like he was afraid of touching me. Let go. No! I said, let go! No! In the face of Ignis's petulant resistance, I too resist like a nagging child. I understand what you're trying to say, Ignis. In the worst case scenario that your rampage flares up, you don't want to inadvertently hurt any of us, right? I think it's understandable to feel that way. If I was in your position, I'd probably have the same inclination. But still, one thing's for sure. I never want to contemplate what Enchanté would be without you. I knew I was being selfish, but I couldn't simply let him leave, not after everything. The idea was unthinkable. You... The veins on Ignis's forehead bulged. When will you stop and face the music? Stop inserting me into your fantasy. I committed murder with the very hands you're hell-bent on grabbing. All those beasts who invaded the stronghold. My fellow fire wolves. My friends. They're all dead. All thanks to me. Whether or not I knew, I hid it from you. My vow never to kill was all a big farce. That's the kind of asshole I am. You said it yourself. The only reason you didn't fear me was because I never killed. But I did. So... But I never saw it.
Huh?
What? I never saw you do it. I've never seen you kill anyone. Not a soul. So... You can't expect me to hate you or be afraid of you. Why you... My voice was quivering. If I were to let loose, a deluge of tears would come streaming down my face. But I desperately held all of it back. After all, I'm the one tormenting Ignis with my personal feelings. Crying now, when he was at his most vulnerable, would be unfair. I would only be bringing him down while his hands were full from his crisis of self. I'm an ordinary human being. After hearing everything that happened, I can't lie and say that that thought doesn't frighten me a little. But still, the Ignis I know is better than that. He's kind, he's gentle, and he's you. I can still hold your hand like this. Don't patronize me! Cotton is holding back her tears and I'm here ugly sobbing while my mom keeps asking if I'm okay. Like, the strong willpower she has when it comes to, you know, having the guys come back and shit. I admire it so much. Oh god. I don't care. The least you could do is not assume. Until after tomorrow, I don't want to contemplate what happens in the worst case scenario. Can't you see? I want you here, Ignis. How? How could you say that to me? I mean, you know what's at stake. If I harmed you in any way, it would be the end. despite my heartfelt desperate pleas. As I should have expected, Ignis was stubborn, and his heart was set. It was tragic. It was painful, but I didn't notice until now. Kororo was sitting on the bed, staring at the open book in the corner of my eye. Early the next morning, we finalized everything for our Bestia trip.
最近やたら事故や道路の工事が多いとは思ってたけど、あれベスティアが関係してたんだ。
I was just thinking about all the accidents and construction that have been here recently, but I had no idea it was because of Bestia.
本当に琴音まで行くの？いや、例の侵入者とかでこっちのが危ないのは分かってるけどさ。
Wait, don't tell me you're going, Kotone. I mean, I get it's dangerous here because of the intruder incident, but Kareya came to see us off, expressing concern with Kororo safe in his arms. I responded with an awkward smile, donning the blanket that I had received from the young beastling. Right. I'll be okay. Promise. I have everyone with me. Bruh, that shit's just having we immediately transitioned to this. I know, I'm just like... You be careful too, Karia, just in case those minotaurs show up in town.
大丈夫。一応 GPM の人も辺りを巡回してるって言ってたから。
I'll be fine. There are a bunch of GPM agents patrolling the area anyways. Normally I would have asked Karia to watch after the cafe for me, but... There's a chance the intruder who assaulted me could come back at any time. So this time, Karia was instructed to stay at home. BRB. Alright, Tim. Take your time. One of Mr. Rindo's trusted subordinates, at the not-so-gentle behest of Messire, agreed to watch after the cafe for me. Also, it was decided that we would leave Kororo at home with Karia under the guise of a stuffed animal. Or so we had planned. Oh no, you wanna come along too, huh? Oh no! All of a sudden, Kororo shifted his weight, leaning out of Karia's arms and dropping into mine. Kororo, this felt awfully familiar. Oh no, throwing a tantrum, are you? No, you don't. It's dangerous for you. I tried my best to give him back, but... Ow! 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 Kororo dug his claws into my arm, seemingly unwilling to part with me.
一緒に行きたいみたいだね。
Seems like he wants to tag along. Kororo, no!
ベスティアはコロロの故郷なわけだし、機会があるなら行きたいのかもね。
Ah, yeah, that's understandable too. Well, Bestia is Kororo's home after all. Maybe the little guy loves a free trip home where he can find one. Oh, I know. Mr. Rindo, who was eavesdropping from the side, interjected.
いいんじゃない？君の危機をイグニスに知らせたって実績もあるし、足手まといにはならないと思うよ。
That's true. If it weren't for Kororo trying to find Ignis when we were thrown into Bestia to die, we wouldn't be here. So, yeah, might as well let him tag along too. Shouldn't be a big deal, no? He did notify Ignis of your predicament before. I don't think he'll be much of a burden. Thank you. Alright, Kororo, we're going. Ah, stop it, my heart. No! Karia handed Kororo over entirely, wrapping both hands around his plump body.
さて、僕も魔獣の毛皮は身につけたし、帝から預かった通信機もバッチリ。忘れ物はないかな。
Beast fur, check. Mikado's transmitter, check. I didn't forget anything, I think. Transmitter?
最近開発に成功した新作だってさ。
This fluff ball, ah! I know. I really want to bring Kororo home. Yep, It's a new device he developed recently, a true scientific marvel. Mr. Rindo beamed with pride as he pulled the device out of his pocket, though it looked like a smartphone to me. If I recall correctly, we had used this in Ill's route. Thank you for the hand patch, Yuzu. Mr. Rindo explained how the device enabled communication between realms with the GPM as the broadcast point. Also, it took photos. That's probably how the GPM get their research done too. The entire room took interest in this device as Monsieur and the others huddled close to sneak a peek at the palm-sized transmitter. Mikado's communicator, a prototype device made by Mikado. It's a prototype to communicate with other worlds. Presently, it is only possible to communicate with Bestia. Gotcha.
やっぱ人間界の技術の方がよっぽど魔法っぽいよね。
Technology from the human world is more magical than anything from our realms.
まさか異世界との境界を越え会話を可能にしてしまうとは。
No, was it Ill's route or Canis's route? Or both? Because I've seen this transmitter before in either one. Never once considered the possibility of communicating across different realms.
まあまだまだ試作段階で本質は悪いし、通信がいきなり途切れる可能性も高いらしいけどね。
Think we used it in the Headless Guy's culmination. Yeah, last I recall, I believe we did use it in Canis's route. And it was still a prototype back then as well. It's still a prototype. The sound quality could use some improvement, and there's always a chance for signal to drop.
お前ら無駄口叩いてねえでさっさと行くぞ。
Hey guys, let's cut the needless chatter and get moving already.
ドローミスも向こうで待機しているようです。あまり待たせるのもよろしくないかと。
Seems Dromies. Remember, Ale mispronounces Dromies' name as Dromies. Has been patiently awaiting our arrival on the other side. We needn't keep waiting much longer. Oh, sure. So Ignis grabbed a hold of the doorknob, bracing myself as we entered the gate to Bestia. For a while, I stared at him from behind. Without a word, I grabbed onto his shirt.
おい、なんで俺を掴むんだよ。別に他の奴らでもいいだろ。
Hey, you know the rules. Keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times. Oh, give it a rest. As if in reference to our conversation from the previous day, I hold him ever so tightly. Ignis, realizing it likely wasn't worth the argument, lets out a sigh in defeat.
勝手にしろ。
Whatever. His response was as cold as I expected it to be as he squeezed the doorknob. From there, we were transported back to the unforgiving snowy world altogether.
兄貴に店主さんたちお待ちしてたっす。
Bro! And Miss Owner. I was waiting for you.
兄貴の地元ことビニトルの縄張りに改めてご招待するっすよ。
I'd like to cordially invite all of you to my bro's hometown, better known as the Firewolf Stronghold.
他の魔獣たちがいないルートを事前に調べてあるからご心配なくっす。
I've already plotted a path for us to avoid detection from those smelly beasts, so don't you worry about a thing. Right, we're counting on you. I was unsure if you had gotten over our last conversation, but Dromi welcomed us at the gate entrance, awkward as ever. Without taking any detours, we proceeded straight down the guided path. Of course, with the conditions and the distance, we took occasional breaks. Soon I began to recognize my surroundings. As we ambled down the path which led us straight to the Firewolf stronghold, we heard an electric pinging sound, one that was foreign to this frozen world, coming from Mr. Rindo's pocket. That sound, of course, was none other than... Hello! Testing! 1, 2. Ah, why it's the owner from Enchanté, our fellow non-humans, and as a bonus, the geezer himself, Rindo. Everyone hear me?
聞こえてる。じゃ、切るよ。
Yes, yes, we can hear you. I'm hanging up now. Stop! Oh dear. Oh hey, it's Mika D's Nutso. Oh my god, that's How dare you attempt to interrupt the first live test of my grand invention? Why can't you enjoy a good dialogue, eh, Rindo? Mikado's volume was cranked all the way up, making it so all of us could hear their playful banter.
無駄に声がでけえな。
Turn that stupid thing down.
でもすごいっすね。本当にベスティアと人間界の間で会話ができちゃったっすよ。
But isn't it cool? I can't believe we can make contact between Bestia and the human world. Seriously, guess that proves it. Mikado really is a genius, isn't he? I don't know why the prospect would surprise you. It really is impressive, isn't it? I must say, although I'm no stranger to compliments, your flattery sounds extra clear over the transmitter.
けど、自慢とテストだけが目的なら本当に切るぞ。
Mikado, if you're only calling us to brag about the transmitter, I'm going to hang up. Jesus. Whoa, hold your horses. You know that's not why I called. Now that we've conducted the field test, I actually have a small favor to ask of the expedition troop.
お願いですか？
A favor, you say? Indeed. No need to worry though, it's nothing major. All I ask is that you keep the transmitter on whenever you're talking about Ignis, so like that I can stay in the loop. Ah, research reasons then. The best way for me to study him is to obtain accurate intelligence about the man himself in the field.
意外とまっとうなお願いだね。
Hey, since when do you ask simple favors?
てっきり全ビニトルの採血でもしてこいとか言い出すかと思ったよ。
Too right. I thought you were going to ask us something outlandish, like bringing back a blood sample from every fire wolf we see.
とりあえず了解。ただあっちにとって通信なんて未知の塊に見えるだろうし、話してる最中は騒がないでくれよ。
Anyway, roger that. Just keep in mind that the transmitter is foreign tech here, so try to keep quiet if you hear something, okay? Mikado squealed, responding with energetic affirmation as our company set off again down the trail. The only thing I could think of was how different Bestia looked from day to night. Back then, the ice blocks were a deep azure, but now they were close to transparent. I swear, Mikado and his shenanigans. The trek was a lengthy workout. Just as my knees began to howl in pain, we finally reached our destination. The men in our group visiting for the first time began inspecting the surrounding igloos and large torches with intrigue.
へえ、ここがビニトルの縄張り。
Ah, so this is the fire wolf stronghold.
他の魔獣の縄張りとは違い、炎が灯してあるのだな。
Unlike the other beast strongholds, this one is illuminated by torchlight.
炎の魔獣ってことを考えればそれが普通なんだろうけど、氷だらけのベスティアだとなんだか不思議だよね。
Given that they're wolf people, I'm sure they're all hot-blooded. But seeing this in a snowy wasteland is weird no matter what.
ひとまず私個人としては他の縄張りに比べればいくらか暖かいですし、ありがたいです。
Personally, I am grateful for their warm accommodations, especially compared to the other strongholds. Ah, as soon as the firewolves took notice of us, the thin population began to buzz. The discomfort was palpable. All the firewolves caught sight of Ignis, and the fires located beside their ears diminished without warning. Ignis, however, hadn't seemed to mind, and instead marched through the snow.
おい、おじき。あんたに聞きてえことがある。
Hey, uncle, I got something to ask you. Ignis grabbed the arm of the man who, just a couple of days ago, delivered the earth-shattering news to him. Oh shoot, BRB, gotta go prepare some stuff. That's alright, take your time, Dunskin, thank you for the lick. The old man shook his hand, signaling to a worried bystander that everything was fine.
わかった。今まで騙してきた罪滅ぼしにはならんが。
Okay? I know this won't be sufficient to atone for the sins of lying to you about your entire life, but
私が知っていることを全てお前に打ち明けるとしよう。
I will tell you everything I know. Out of respect to Ignis's unwavering resolve, the old man nodded, obliging his resolve. He escorted our group to an empty igloo to begin the discussion. At first, we introduced ourselves. We took the time to explain to him the circumstances happening in my world. Then Ignis's expression warped as he began to interrogate the man.
まずは再確認だ。俺がガキの頃、縄張りを襲った連中と仲間のビニトルを。
First things first, I gotta ask. Is it true that when I was a kid,
正気を失った上で皆殺しにしたってのは
I lost my mind and slaughtered both the invaders and the firewolves? Yes. After a long pause, the man nodded out of resignation.
我らビニトルは古くから迫害されているがゆえにもともと戦える若者が少ない。
We firewolves have been persecuted since ancient times. Hence our people are vulnerable, incapable of
あ
fighting.
の惨劇の最中にできたことといえば必死に逃げ延びることぐらいだった。
Yeah, like he's the only yeah, for context, yeah, Ignis is the only firewolf who can fight. All we could do in the face of such atrocities was to turn, run, and hope to survive the slaughter.
こうして我らがどうにか身を潜めている間に
Those who managed to escape the carnage hid away, waiting until it passed, but
暴走したイグニスが残った仲間や襲撃者たちを
Ignis, having succumbed to his rampage, took the survivors and the intruders and...
皆の断末魔を聞けばあの場で何が起きていたのか察するのは容易だったよ。
It was clear what became of them. Hearing the deceased cry out in their dying moments. I see. Ignis, reminded once again of the atrocities he had committed, uttered in silent confirmation, choosing not to erupt in rage but to nod instead. However, we all believe this to be the story's end.
それと
And... wait, what? And? The man, whose face sagged heavily with regret, continued to speak, pointing his nose at the ground while recounting his tale.
これはお前自身に問うべきかわからぬのだがあの時のことを何も覚えてはいないのか。
This might be a stupid question, but do you really have no recollection about anything from that day? Ignis shrugged, offering his usual response.
覚えてねえさ。何もな。
I don't remember. Not a thing. Despite his sincerity,
そうか。であれば仕方がないな。
wait, what? I see. Then I have no choice.
ゴジン、何か気になることでもあるのか？
Sir, is something bothering you? The man stood in his hesitant demeanor as Candace interjected. Then he let his gaze wander for a moment, all of us hanging on the edge of our seats as he unraveled.
実はその騒動の際にいくらか我らの同胞が数を減らしていてな。
During that incident, we lost many of our kin, comrades who were lost during the invasion.
そりゃそうだろ。敵味方問わず俺が大半を殺したってんなら。
Well, duh. If I killed pretty much everyone in the stronghold, friend or foe alike, friend or foe alike then.
いや、そうではないんだ。それ以外にも、あの混乱の際に集落の外にかなりの数が散ったようでな。
No, that's not what I mean. Apart from those who died in the massacre, many of our kin were separated from us in the chaos.
数人ばかりなのだが、死体も特に見当たらなかったため、おそらく逃げ延びたのだと思っているが。
There are about a dozen of them. We never found their corpses, so we thought they had escaped. Ignis was asked if he recalled any of them. Though unsurprisingly, Ignis shook his head with an inquisitive gaze.
そうか。まあ、きっとどこかで生き延びていると信じるしかなかろうな。
I see. I suppose all we can do for now is pray that our kin are alive somewhere.
イグニスに真実を伏せていた理由はやはり自衛の武力として利用するためですか？
Oh yeah, that's right. Also, the reason why they lied to him was so that because he's the only firewolf to fight, they ended up relying on him for keeping the stronghold safe. Is it true that you covered up the truth in order to manipulate Ignis to operate as a personal defense force?
その通りだ。言い訳のしようもない。
That's right. I have no excuse for that.
すまなかった。
I'm sorry. He bowed his head deeply. All of us, including Ignis, could do nothing except wait quietly for the silence to pass.
あの時のことを話すとすれば、この程度だと思うが、他に何か質問はあるだろうか。
That is about all I have to tell you about that day. Do you have any questions?
はいはい。俺たちイグニスのその暴走本能をなんとかしたくてさ、情報集めの最中なんだけど。
Oh, I do. We're here looking into Ignis's so-called rampage instinct, so we're conducting some interviews.
君以外にも話を聞けそうな人っているかな？
Is there anyone else we could speak with about it?
皆やはり私と同じ程度のことしか。
Ah, man. No. Everyone here will tell you the same thing. Or close to what I told you. He stopped in the middle of a sentence, as if something caught his eye.
いや、
ん？
そこのドローミが何か知っているかもしれん。
Hmm? Well, maybe Dromi there knows
そや
something.
つもその頃すでに我らと生活を共にし、その騒動を生き延びた一人だ。
He was among those who lived in the safety of our stronghold at the time, and he too survived the event. Oh yeah, for context of that too, if it were not for Ignis's rampage being a horrifying thing, Dromi's circumstances are worse when it comes to like stronghold invasions. Dromi is basically the only surviving member of the Tiger Beast clan, which is why he made the Firewolf stronghold his home, and also why he's close to Ignis as a result. Let's see, he was among those who lived in the safety of our stronghold at the time, and he too survived the event.
それにそやつはあの時、最もイグニスから近い場所にいたはずだが。
Besides, at the time he was closest to Ignis. With this unexpected remark, everyone pointed their eyes at Dromi.
いや、確かに。そりゃそうっすけど。
What? I mean, he's not lying exactly, but
でも、なんもわかんないっすよ。俺、あの時、ビビってすっ転んで、そのまま気絶してたんだけど。
are you serious right now? Really? But I don't know nothing. Back then, I kinda just freaked out, fell on my ass, and passed out.
ガキの頃からとことん使えねえな、てめえは。
This just proves it. You've been useless forever, haven't you?
ひどい！存在を全否定されてる気分っす。
Hey, that's not fair. I don't appreciate having my entire life questioned either. Dumb. Yep, he dumb. As Dromi sat there flummoxed, Mr. Rindo continued with his own question.
ビニトルの中に過去イグニスと同じような暴走をした個体は、例えば遠い先祖とか
Have any other
何か心当たりはありませんか？
Have any other members of your clan gone on a similar rampage? Perhaps a distant ancestor of some kind. Does that ring a bell?
先祖か。
An ancestor, you say?
ビニトルの祖となった魔獣は他とは比にならぬ強い力を持っていた。そういった伝承は確かにあるのだが。
Legends tell the firewolf's ancestral beast, a being with extraordinary power. I confess such a legend exists, however.
世代を重ねるごとにそれも中身が薄らいでしまっていてな。
Ah,
具体的な内容は私にもわからんのだ。
with each generation, the details become cloudier and cloudier. Even I couldn't recite it here accurately. The man closed his eyes, conveying to the group that it was time we took our leave. Soon as we exited the stronghold, Mr. Rindo pulled out his transmitter.
ミカド、もう自由に喋っていいぞ。今までの話を聞いてどう思った？
Mikado, you're in the clear to speak. How do you think our little talk went? Well, there were holes in all of his stories. It's hardly what I'd call worth our time. Even though I couldn't see Dr. Mikado's face right in front of me, I can see he was frustrated, sitting crossed-armed on the call. Everyone else in our group was the same, pondering with arms crossed or rubbed chins. They were all completely preoccupied with the idea of Ignis's rampage instinct.
魔獣としての闘争本能が強いといえばそこまでだな。
It may go without saying that his prowess in combat as a beast is
そ
incredible.
もそもの話、暴走するのは本当にイグニスだけなのだろうか。かけらでもそういった噂を聞いたことは。
But is Ignis the one and only beast capable of running rampant? Does anything about his tail sound familiar? Nope.
俺もないっすね。
Doesn't ring a bell here either.
自称とはいえ情報通のドローミスが言うならば望み薄でしょうね。
If the information broker himself, Dromes, says as much, then hope is faint.
あと可能性があるのは
The other possibilities are...
実は気がついてないだけでビニトルっていう種族全体が実はみんな暴走できちゃうとか
I think that's possible too, to be honest. Maybe all firewolves are capable of rampaging, but it's never occurred to them that they've got the power.
暴走本能そのものがビニトルの隠された本性っていうことか。
Are you suggesting that going on these rampages is a hidden firewolf ability?
いや、だとしたらそれこそ前例の一つや二つ少しは残ってるはずだ。
No. If that were the case all along, then there'd definitely be one or two cases than just me.
ですがある日唐突に種族通しての異端な存在が生まれてくるというのも考えづらいです。
But it is equally foolish to believe that a heretic would emerge into being one day without warning out of thin air.
カリアもしかりだが、力というものは血に色濃く影響される。
Yeah, concerning Karaya and his fairy ancestry, this wouldn't be surprising in this case either. As with what happened with Karaya, one's power is deeply connected to their
や
ancestry.
はり何かしらの要因がビニトルという種族にあるのではないか。
I cannot help but think the answer lies somewhere in the heritage of the firewolves.
つってもな、本気で心当たりなんかねえぞ。
But still, don't you think there's a problem if there's no one in living memory like me?
死んだ親父もおふくろも普通のビニトルだったって聞いてるしよ。
My dead mom and pops were both ordinary firewolves, so I hear. I sat in deep thought, hoping to grasp the flicker of some great epiphany that would answer and ease all our concerns at once. But sadly, I was no expert. Truthfully, I hadn't the faintest clue what could induce a beast into a rampage. From my perspective, it felt like a submission to a baser self. Those minotaurs we've encountered had certainly given credence to the claim, so I mumbled aloud. Is there anything in the realm of simple features or qualities? Intermission when? Soon enough. That makes him different. Like what separates Ignis from the other beasts? But if I were to guess, if the answer was so easy to begin with, we wouldn't be in our current situation. Something that ordinarily was little more than a blind pitch thrown under my breath. Huh?
Yeah.
Well...
食べることに決まってるじゃないか。
Of course, it's his enormous appetite. But wait, this is a big clue too, because he did point out back when Seo and Kotene's grandfather was alive and running the cafe, a single meal was enough to satisfy him. But ever since he started visiting the cafe more, he's had the biggest appetite out of the Enchanté regulars. But still, this makes me laugh. Huh? Monsieur, Mr. Rindo, and Mikado all had apparently picked up on my idea, synchronized in their declaration.
Huh?
Wow! The claim caused Ignis's jaw to drop as he shot a wide-eyed stare back at them.
いや、イグニス、君、アンシャンテで普通に食事してるよね。
I mean, Ignis, it wouldn't be a stretch to say you regularly eat meals at Enchanté, would it?
おお、それは今更確認しなくても毎日のように見てることじゃねえか。
Duh! Do you even need to ask? You see me every damn day.
確かに魔獣は本来飯がいらねえもんだけどよ。別に食ったからってどうこうねえだろ。
It's true that beasts don't usually consume food. Hunger just isn't a thing for us. But eating some food couldn't hurt, right?
いや、なんというか、その前提が間違ってるんだよ。
Well, how do I say this? You're looking at this the wrong way. Listen here, Ignis. It's not as simple as beasts not experiencing hunger. Oh. I see. It's that they quite literally cannot eat. Water and ice are totally sufficient for a firewolf's diet.
もしかしてイグニス知らなかったの？
Wait, don't tell me. You never knew this,
当
Ignis?
たり前のように食べてるから今まで指摘しなかったけど。
You never had trouble putting food down, so I didn't think to point it out. Oh no. What? Agnes's cry echoed through the thunder so loudly it nearly triggered an avalanche. Agnes, please don't do that. His reaction was shock then anger. Not that the distinction saved us from flinching. Beasts can't eat? Whoa, what? That changes everything. Wait, then what? Hold on, hold this fucking thought. Are you... Wait. But how do you explain Ignis eating enough to feed a whole family in one sitting every single day?
それは矛盾していますね。
That is quite the paradox, isn't it?
どういうことなのだ。
What does this mean? Mikado cleared his throat, looking around the room as he continued. Ignis be a glutton as fuck. Yes, but there's more to it than that. Well, ignorance comes as no surprise when one has been deprived of the chance to learn about other beasts' anatomy. To put it in layman's terms, 3 out of 4 of you are non-humans, Monsieur, Il, and Canis. That's true. These 3 are categorized in terms that we comprehend as spiritual beings. I won't go into the science behind it all, but they, like humans, can convert whatever they consume into energy. I see. Just like you, somehow has become the damn cutest thing on the planet. Oh gosh. No, I am not. With Ignis, however, he, if what I know about beasts is correct, should have no similar need for sustenance. Why is that? The reason is quite simple. Wait. What? The native peoples of Bestia or Beast have no digestive system in their bodies. Wait, what is this all supposed to mean then? BRB, take your time, 10. Let's see, dictionary, demon beast. They all do not possess digestive organs and cannot eat. The most they do is wet their throat with water or ice. Ignis being able to eat like a normal person is an exception to the norm. Damn, wish I was a beast. No food, no poops. Oh goodness. To date, I've examined over 300 Bestian species, all of which validate my assertion. Huh? What the fuck did I come back to? I mean, we went to the Fire Wolf Stronghold, to get more information about, Ignis's rampage instinct. But apparently what sets him apart according to everyone is his appetite. And according to Mikado, beasts and bestia do not have any digestive systems and cannot eat. And moreover, a firewolf's diet consists of ice and water. And yet Ignis is able to eat like a normal person does, so he's an exception to the norm. So I wonder what this all means. You possess neither stomach nor intestines, yet somehow you manage to eat as if you do. If there isn't any distinction between Ignis and other beasts, then look no further than what stands before us. Also, to make everything even more confusing, according to Ignis, from what he heard, both his mother and father are normal firewolves, so they don't have the rampage instinct, so... Soon after he howled, then fell speechless. Ah, is this why you asked for Ignis's blood sample the last time all of us were together? Indeed. I never received a single drop though. Come to think of it, Kororo didn't make a pass at the fish I gave him. Yeah, that's right, we tried to feed Kororo, but he would not eat food. I guess this explains everything then. The most Dromi ever had at Enchanté was a cup of coffee or ice cream. Huh? Oh, yes, I think that's right. Hey, Dromi. Eek! Why are you looking at me like that? Was I supposed to say something? I always found it kind of funny that you ate, bro. I figured it was just a firewolf thing or something. My goodness. Who could have known his eating, which to us seemed normal, had unseen consequences? How do beasts normally generate stamina then? You're saying energy doesn't matter to them, right? It seems they're born with as much energy, which in our terms are essentially calories, as they need to live out their entire life.
それを少しずつ消費して寿命を迎えるまで生きていくらしいんだ。
They consume this stock of calories little by little throughout their lifespan. I never knew that.
イグニスといえば食事。そんなイメージがついていただけに驚きを。
It simply beggars belief. How can one picture Ignis as being anything other than face down in a meal?
しかし、さすがに食事が可能であることが暴走本能につながるとは思えんが。
But the question remains as to how his penchant for eating and his capacity to rampage are connected. Ignis, on the other hand, had a peculiar reaction to this new revelation, one that was surprising in its own way. His somewhat thorny demeanor from earlier had mostly faded, and was now replaced by total shock. Oh my god, it all comes down to this for real? Well, I don't know. We're gonna have to find out, especially since Mikado was never given Ignis's blood sample to research further. So, All of a sudden, Kororo became unsettled and started to wriggle around in my arms. What's wrong, Kororo? Yeah! Like a rubber bouncing ball, Kororo leapt from my arms. From there, he landed and hopped onto the icy ground. Oh dear. Kororo began flapping his arms around in the snow, all while calling Ignis's name.
え俺が
Huh? You talking to me? Let me die. Wait, what did he tell you, Ignis? Can you understand him, Ignis?
わかるわけねえだろ
Of course not. Oh dear. Why, perhaps out of frustration with Ignis's lack of action, Kororo began to flail his arms forcefully. Then he pointed those arms in a certain direction. Someone finally had picked up on the small creature's gestures. It wasn't Ignis, but in fact Mr. Rindo of all people.
もしかしてこの方向へ僕らを連れて行きたがってるとか。
Does anyone else think that he wants us to head that way?
でもあっちは
But that's... Ignis pauses his sentence, shifting his eyes over to Dromi with a strange look of deep concern. Ooh... What's over there?
いや、俺の故郷つか、ティグリスの縄張りだった場所の近くなんですが。
Remember again, Dromi is the last of the werecat beast species. When the slaughter happened, he was the only survivor of his clan. Oh, nothing, just my home. More specifically, where the werecat stronghold used to be. Where it used to be... Oh, that's right. Dromi's friends and family had also been annihilated by beasts. Sorry, I didn't mean to remind you of bad memories.
いいんすよ。もうずいぶん昔のことっすし、今の俺には兄貴たちがいるっす。
It's okay. That was a long time ago and I have my bro with me
あ
now.
そこ海が近いっすから、コロロ急に泳ぎたくなっちゃったんじゃないっすかね。
The ocean's not too far from here, so maybe Kororo's just fussing because he wants to go swimming?
調査も行き詰まってることだし、気晴らしぐらいさせてあげようか。
Aw, Since our investigation is at an impasse, why don't we let him shake a flipper for a bit?
じゃあ俺はもっとビニトルの皆さんに兄貴の話を聞いてくるっすね。
Then I'll, chat with the firewolves again for more info about Bro, okay? Okay, thank you. I could only imagine how painful it was to return to the ruins of your fallen kin. Dromi ran back to the firewolf stronghold with his eyes pointed at the snowy boulders. Dromi,
お嬢様あいつ自身が気にすんなっつったんだ
don't feel too bad for him. He's got his reasons for going off. Yes, you're right. I wouldn't want to show him any disrespect. I picked Kororo up and plowed my feet through the plushy snow towards the sea, to where Kororo was inexplicably drawn. Close to shore, the smell of sea salt hit my nose. Kororo leapt towards the crashing waves. With that momentum, he dove into the ocean.
ああしてるとほんと普通のアザラシにしか見えないよね。
From this angle, the little guy looks like any old seal.
SNS 映えしそうですが、また林道に怒られてしまうので自重しておきます。
This would make for a wonderful photograph, but at the risk of angering Rindo again, I shall honorably refrain. Saw smiles on that windy beach as Kororo splashed playfully in the shallow water.
たく、揃いも揃ってゆるい顔しやがって、ここまでの緊張感が台無しじゃねえか。
Man, how nice for you to take a dip. Thanks for totally ruining the moment. In the end, nothing could ever take the wind out of Kororo's sails. Then suddenly, I realized Ignis and I stood side by side, engaging in normal conversation at last. It then occurred to Ignis, shortly after. He immediately reacted by averting his gaze. So Alright, save. I mean, I already know what I'm going to pick, but you know, the usual just in case kind of thing. Yep, I'm getting closer to you, you fish! I missed the closeness that he and I shared once before. I took an inconspicuous step closer to him. By the looks of things, Ignis didn't exactly try to escape from me, but he still pursed his lip awkwardly. It was like we were thrust back in time. An awkward portrait of our early days. It felt rather lonely. After our conversation wafted into the ocean air, he and I stared blankly at the water. Hey, Ignis. What? Forgive me if saying this oversteps some kind of boundary, but after earlier, something about it made me happy. Huh? Beasts technically don't ever eat because they don't have to, right? If you were one of the beasts that couldn't eat, you would have never seen the look on your face after eating a big meal. That big goofy smile. Kotane, I know that you're suffering right now, but I still want to spend time with you over in Enchanté if you would like to visit. I want to feed you whatever meal you want every day of my life. Every day? Yes. I don't know how to say this, but that's how much I... Oh dear! How much I... Oh, wait. You did not realize this? Kotane. Oh no. Wait, what was I trying to say? Kororo thrashed at the water violently, which splashed upward and hit Ignis in the face. Oh no. Water droplets trickled from the bridge of his nose to the tip until it dripped down. Ignis held this pose quietly, letting the curtain of water on his face fall slowly to the ground. Kororo! You little! Unable to contain himself, Ignis nearly popped a vein from trying to roar at Kororo. Food! Ignis! Eat!
Huh?
Huh? Kororo poked his head out of the water to say something unusual. The others, who stood watching the distance, gathered towards us, curious about what was going on. Kororo floated joyfully in the water, pointing his big eyes at us. Ignis, food, eat, said Kororo before diving once more into the water and swimming away. Huh? Kororo! Wait! Where are you going? The depths obscure Kororo's shadow, and suddenly he was
あの
gone.
バカ知らねえ土地で好きに泳ぎ回るつもりか
Wow, Kowo, speaking more words. I know! He's finally starting to be capable of speech, even just a little bit. That idiot! Doesn't he know how dangerous it is to swim in uncharted water? We have to hurry and chase him.
どうやら東の方向へと向かったようだが、見失う前に保護せねば。
He was swimming down the eastward current. We must catch him before it's too late.
おい箱入りてめえの術でコロロの後を追えるか
Hey, cage bird. Think you can track Kororo down with a spell?
どうした？何か問題があるのならば、無理にとは言わんが。
What's the matter? You needn't become involved if there's an issue.
あいえまだそれほど離れていないでしょうし可能かとすぐに実行します
No, he hasn't gone too far yet. I can do it. I'll execute the spell at once. Il soared into the air, casting the same detection spell he had previously used to locate the Pacos.
たくコロロのやつ
Damn it, Kororo!
仮にもここはアルムムがいた場所だってのに怖いもの知らずにも程があんな
Doesn't he know that this is Minotaur territory? He's always poking that snout of his where he doesn't belong. Oh, hello, Cookie. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Ignis mumbled to himself, presumably out of concern for Kororo. That's when
イグニスと餌
Ignis and food. Doing good. Glad to hear.
食べるはともかく餌なんてコロロいつそんな単語を覚えたんだろう
Ah, it's morning for you too, I see. Just finished breakfast. What did you have for breakfast? I heard the little guys say eat, but food. Any idea how he figured out how to say a word like that?
さあ僕は心当たりないけどテレビとかそれか街中で聞いたとかかな
Who knows? You're asking the wrong guy. Maybe he saw something on TV or heard it in town somewhere.
それもそっかけどなんで全然関係ないこのタイミングで
Yeah, maybe, but timing is too convenient for me. Why parrot such a random phrase? From a short distance, Monsieur and Mr. Rindo watched the situation with great curiosity. Thanks to Il's spell, we were able to track Kororo's location. The former angel glided above us, guiding us through the path on our pursuit. But at the end of our long run, we hit a dead end. Our path blocked by a gigantic icy boulder. Seemed that the only way we could progress any further would be to dive underwater. Bread rolls, one with ham and the other with salami. That's nice. Ah, shoot, I gotta go. Hope you have a lovely rest of your stream, Likochi. Thank you for being here in Dansuke, and yeah, have fun and be safe, okay? Il, noticing our predicament, landed on the ground, albeit while stumbling.
対象の移動停止を確認しました
Target's location
ど
confirmed.
うやらコロロはこの先にある空間にて待機しているようです
It seems Kororo is standing idly just through this underpass through here.
いるお疲れ様でもその様子を見る限り
Good work, Il, but by the looks of
やっ
it,
ぱりベスティアで琴音を探した時の消耗がまだ回復してなかったんだね
doesn't seem like you've fully recovered since the last time you were in Bestia looking for Kotone, have you?
はい
True. Huh? Really? Suddenly became evident in me. I noticed how the color had been draining from Il's face. Oh no!
お前なそういうことは早く言えよだったらこっちも無茶させねえっつうの
You know, you'd be doing us a big favor by speaking up now and then. We wouldn't have to push you too hard.
ですが私以外のものではコロロを追うことができなかったのは事実でしょ
But then, no one else could have successfully located Kororo, isn't that right?
ただ申し訳ありませんがこれ以降私は秘書以外でお役に立てないかと
However, pardon my request, but moving forward, I hope I am of use to you in ways other than combat.
十分だよいるそのままゆっくり休んで
You've done enough, Il. Rest up for now.
この程度の行き止まりも我らには何の障害にもならぬ。
Indeed, an obstacle of this size poses no challenge for us. In one swift movement, Canis unsheathed his blade, raised it into the air, and shattered the huge block of ice. A path opened before us, but its entrance was damp and dimly lit. Is this an ice cave?
ティグリスの縄張り近くにこんなもんがあったのか。
I had no idea this place was so close to the werecat stronghold. Ignis, it seemed, shared in my wonder at such a secluded location. I wonder why Kororo swam all the way here.
ただの気まぐれだろ。とっ捕まえて説教だな。
Probably just to mess with us. Let's nab him already so we can teach him a lesson. Oh! Thank you for the headpets, Dunsuke. Yeah, oh yeah, one last thing. And thank you for the hydrate redeem as well. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and all self-care redeems as well. So give me a moment. Done. Gotta stretch. Okay, posture's okay. And let me go ahead and drink. It has been a bit... Ah! Oh no! My water bottle cap dropped. Oh no. Hold on. I'll go get it. Alright. Bye-bye. Love you guys. Love you too. Have fun and be safe. And you know, I know it's the weekend there as well, so happy weekend. As soon as we set foot inside, my skin clenched as the stone walls and ground insulated a punishing chill. I took a deep breath, hoping my resolve would warm me in the freezing depths. Soon, we arrived at an opening. Oh, wait. This is the same place we saw in chapter 1 of Ignis's route. So, this was very important. Wonder what this place is. The narrow path emptied into a wide hall. We could stand side by side with room to play. It wasn't exactly a cave, but rather a...
氷で作られた祠みてえだな。
Looks like a shrine made of ice. I thought I might have faintly recognized the scene from a historical documentary. Then, in the pool of water situated at the center of the shrine was... Kororo, poking his head out enthusiastically. Ah, Kororo, we were worried about you. I hold my arms out wide for him to come. Normally, whenever I pose like this, Kororo would cry loudly and leap into my arms, but this time... Kororo? For some reason, he didn't budge. Instead, Kororo began to swim towards the rear of the shrine. He emerged from the water and poked the wall with his horn, as if to direct our attention to this spot. His tiny horn was pointed at a small engraving etched onto the wall.
壁画
Oh! This is talking about fire wolves, and is it a mural?
いや、絵だけじゃないね。GPM のデータベースで見かけたベスティアの古代文字も薄く刻まれてる。
No, these aren't just pictures. I've seen these in the GPM database before. They're ancient Bestian characters. Kororo turned around, seeing that we had taken notice of the hieroglyphics. Long... Oh? Is he trying to translate this for us?
いきなりなんだ
What the hell? Kororo had the mural to his back. Then he began to speak in a manner those of us who normally interacted with him in Enchanté had never heard before. The lively mood among our expedition party was replaced by solemn, focused attention. We stood, fully entranced by the little creature, as it were about to recite a lengthy tale. So began the little creature. Far past, Bestia, he said to the group as he waddled alongside the mural, narrating it. Oh shit! A human entered Bestia? One day, human came. But Bestia already. Fire wolf there. Seriously, he's so cute. And I can't believe he's not able to, speak like a human. Wolf, sleep. Wolf, human. Wake up and food, lots, eat. All of us jerked in reaction to hearing him speak so clearly. Kuroro, unfazed, continued. What? Wolf are Vinitru. Tigrish, Conch. Ignis, wolf. Food, eat, become. As if to signal the end of his story, Kororo cried out as he usually did. Kororo, what's gotten into you all of a sudden? Seems different somehow, as if coming here awoke something inside of him.
それも気になんか。なんでいきなりビニトルと俺の名前を出したんだ。
That's cool and all, but why did he mention the firewolves and my name out of nowhere? Also, are these werecats like Dromi? On a whim, I glanced once more at the mural, where I began to parse. Various beasts and men, illustrated in all manners of situations. Each depiction I noticed had wolves donned in flames, connecting each one.
もしやコロロはこの壁画に描かれている内容に沿い関連性のある単語を発しているので
Ooh, the mystery has deepened. Perhaps Kororo is following the contents of the mural and attaching words to the images?
確かにそんな様子だったね。絵に合わせてわざわざ移動してたし。
Sure sounded like it. He even trotted alongside the pictures.
随分と古い方向だ。イグニス、何か心当たりは？
The shrine must be ancient. Ignis, does any of it look familiar to you?
知らねえよ。壁画の意味もさっぱりわかんねえ。古代文字も薄すぎてよく見えねえし。
Nope. Couldn't tell you the first thing these pictures mean. The ancient text is too blurry to make out.
どっかのガキが刻んだただの落書きじゃねえの。
What if this was all from some kid who came and vandalized the wall? I think the pictures look too purposeful for that to be the case.
あのさ、
Here's a thought.
コロロがさっき発した単語をちょっと俺たちの喋り方に寄せて順に言い直してみない？
Why don't we take the words that Koiro mentioned earlier and rephrase them in our own terms?
なんでわざわざんなこと。
Huh? Why should we bother?
君との関連性がなんか気になってものは試しってことで頼むよ。
Well, humor me for a second. It must connect to you somehow. Couldn't hurt to try, right?
そこまで言うなら別にいいけどよ。
Fine, if you insist. But how should we rephrase it? I replayed Kororo's presentation in my head. If I could summon what exactly Kororo said, I could imitate the words for everyone. Far past, Bestia. One day, human came.
シンプルだよね。昔のベスティアって意味だ。
Simple. Simple enough, he referred, of course, to ancient Bestia. Next, he said,
ある日、人間が来た。
One day, humans came.
大昔に人間がこのベスティアに訪れたことがある。
In other words, in the ancient times, humans had visited Bestia.
そうそう、そんな感じでどんどんちゃんと文章になるように訳してみよう。
Yes, fantastic. Let's expand the thoughts into proper sentences to decipher the meaning.
キル、悪いけどコロロの発言を全部遡ってくれる？
Ill, I hate to be a bother, but could you help us remember what Kororo said?
はい、了解しました。記憶を再生しますね。
Hey, of course. I will replay my memories. Ill immediately obliged Messier's request. He began to repeat Kororo's exact words effortlessly. Let's see. Far past. Bestia. One day, human came. But Bestia already. Fire. Wolf. There. Wolf. Sleep. Wolf. Human. Wake up. And food. Lots. Eat. Wolf. Are. Vini true. Tigrish. Conch. Ignis. Wolf. Food. Eat. Become. If we do what we did earlier to interpret Kororo's meaning,
はるか昔のベスティアに人間が訪れた。
a long time ago, humans visited Bestia.
元のことかな。ならベスティアにはもともと炎の狼が存在し眠っていた。
By already did he mean originally? Could it mean that the wolves of legend were dormant at Bestia at the time?
眠っていた狼は人間が来たことにより目を覚ました。そして 餌をたくさん食した。
Makes sense. Perhaps the arrival of mankind woke these wolves from hibernation, and they partook in the bountiful feast afterward.
狼がビニトル、ティグリスは監視。
They were fire wolves. The werecats watched. Ignis is a wolf. When he eats, these qualities are enhanced. Is that right?
だいたいそんな感じだと思うよ。
Yep, I think that just about covers it.
炎の狼とは壁画に書かれているこの狼のことで間違いないだろう
The wolf of flames. That must be what's drawn here in the mural.
最初はいかにも伝承って感じな話だったけど、なんで途中から餌の話になんだ？
The beginning part sounds like any old fairy tale, so why did he mention food all of a sudden?
ベスティアに来た人間がその狼にご親切に飯を作ってやったってか？
Maybe the guys who came to Bestia gave food to the wolves as an offering?
その詳細はわかんないけど、やっぱり
I don't know the details, but
この狼、呼び方といい共通点といい、もしかしてイグニスの先祖にあたる魔獣なんじゃないの？
the wolves mentioned here, going by their name and description, could refer to Ignis's ancestors, right? Oh, that's right! The fact it refers to what appeared to be ancient fire wolves aligns with Ignis's perfectly. It even mentions them eating.
現にコロロは狼はビニトルとはっきり告げている。
Plus, Kororo even mentioned that the wolf refers to the fire wolves clearly. Mr. Rindo let out a sigh in contemplation and placed his hand beneath his chin.
人間がイグニスの先祖に食事を与えてあげたから子孫のビニトルも食事が可能になったって。
Remember, beasts don't have digestive systems, and they only eat/drink ice and water. And Ignis is an exception to this. So let me get this straight. Because humans fed Ignis's ancestors, their descendants could eat food too?
適当に言ったんだが、マジか。
What a huge joke.
しかしその先から急に話が通らなくなってしまっているな。
However, everything else the little creature said is still unclear.
イグニスが狼となるって言われても、彼はすでにもともとビニトルだし。
Right, this doesn't change what we know about Ignis. We knew he's a beast, didn't we?
その上、ティグリスの監視。
Besides, what about the werecat part? It watches, as in watches over someone. Perhaps it referred to a werecat companion. maybe Dromi knows something since he's a werecat. And as soon as I said that... Cold! Suddenly, a freezing cold drop of water splashed onto my forehead. Whoa, that scared me. I suspected some of the flames radiating from Ignis's body melted the ice on the ceiling. I tested my hypothesis by glancing upward, but when I did... Ah! Look! There's a mural up there too! What? As my voice bounced around the stony cave, everyone looked up in unison. What we saw was... a giant firewolf. In other words, Ignis's ancestors. It was a majestic, breathtaking depiction. It appeared to be swallowing what looked like other beasts and humans, one after the other. Was it? We lowered our heads and looked around. All of a sudden, Monsieur's face, which seemed hopeful and cheerful just a moment ago, became stern.
あのさ、イグニス。
Hey, Ignis.
そういえばビニトルは昔からあらゆる魔獣から迫害され数を減らしちゃったんだよね。
If I remember correctly, the firewolves have been persecuted and attacked for several generations, right?
ああ、妙竹林な伝承のせいでな。それがどうした？
Yeah, all because of some stupid tradition. What about it?
いや、よく考えたらそれっておかしくない。
Well, when you think about it, that doesn't make much sense, does it?
君以外のビニトルも能力から見ればそれなりに強力な魔獣なはずだ。
The rest of the firewolves other than you should be decently formidable in battle.
つまり昔は数だって多かったはずだね。ならどうして？
In other words, there had to be other ones just like you a long time ago, right? So why?
まるで檻のような氷に閉ざされたあんな辺境へと追いやられていたのか。
Oh. Oh dear. Why have your people settled in the furthest corner of the icy border as if you're exiled?
それはもしかして。
Could it mean...
そりゃあ決まってるじゃないっすか。
Well, it's obvious, isn't it?
古の魔獣たちがこの世界を守るためにビニトルを閉じ込めたからっすよ。
The ancient beast imprisoned the firewolves to protect themselves from their own destruction. What the...
俺たちティグリスはその檻の監視役として奴らの隣人になったんす。
Dromi, we werecats were assigned to watch them in this prison, passing as their neighbors. Suddenly, a voice echoed from the entrance, an ominous interruption dotted by footsteps. No wonder you didn't like him, Koyoro. Koyoro stood in front of the mural, growling at the figure in the dark as if to ward them away. There was only one person at whom I had ever known Koyoro to growl like that. The shadow appeared, opening his arms in a wide and exaggerated manner, as if to welcome us.
さあさあ皆さん、よくぞたどり着きました。
Now, now, fellas. Great job making it here. Oh, shit.
俺たちティグリスが数千年守り続け、その割にはあっさり忘れちまった。
This shrine's been under werecat protection for a millennia, but it's been forgotten.
最悪の歴史を示す誇られた。
The Shrine of Record. He raised his voice, beaming with what appeared to be pride. Dromi? What happened? Weren't you back at the Firewolf stronghold?
ああ、それについてはご心配なく。あっちでの仕事はもう全部終わらせてきた。
Oh, don't worry about that. I've already taken care of all the business over there. Dromi said as much with a wide but disconcerting smile. Something about him unsettled me, something I couldn't place. I said as much to him bluntly. You're scaring me. Of course. The werecat stared back at Kororo, who continued to growl, and he let out a heavy
い
sigh.
やー、にしても残念っす。本当なら一世一代の大舞台で兄貴に全てを話すつもり
Oh shit. Man, what a shame. I was hoping to reveal everything to my bro in a big once-in-a-lifetime way.
まさか俺がここで計画についてつぶやいてる時コロロがここに居合わせてたとはね。
But I never expected Kororo would be the big one to spoil the big surprise.
群れとはぐれた原因ってここに迷い込んだから
So, the reason you separated from the group was because you swam all the way here? Ignis stepped forward, as if in Kororo's defense, despite still processing the big reveal.
いい加減にしろドローン。
Enough, Dromi.
さっきから何を意味わかんないことばっかほざいてやがる。
Mind telling us what the hell you're blabbering about? We're
計
waiting.
画ってのは何のことだ。それにさっきの
What do you mean by surprise? And what did you mean?
この世界を守るため魔獣たちが俺らビニトルをこの辺境に閉じ込めたってのは
When you said other beasts imprisoned the firewolves at the border to prevent destruction.
そのまんまの意味っすな。
Huh? Seems pretty obvious. Dromi offered a casual rebuttal, as if it was any other conversation.
要はアルムムたちが今行おうとしてることと同じっす。まあくだらねえ雑魚魔獣っすけど。
I mean, it's basically what the Minotaurs are trying to do as we speak. It doesn't make the situation any less lame, but...
真実を知った奴らは奴らなりにこのベスティアを守ろうとしてたってことっすね。
Since they're aware of how sticky this has been since old times, they're trying to protect Bestia the only way they know how.
イグニスという未来の大最悪から
From the total destruction, aka Ignis.
だからその意味がわかんねえっつってんだこのアホトラ
Like I said, you're not making any sense, you stupid tiger.
下手な役者気取りなんとしねえでシンプルに質問に答えやがれ
Quit with the riddles and answer the damn question to my face.
って言われても
I would,
皆
but...
さんが訳したこととその天井の壁画に描かれていることが全ての真実っすよ。
You already know everything. You guys figured out what's written on the ceiling. It's all pretty clear, you know? Normally, Dromi would shrink or run at the sound of Ignis's threats, but he didn't bat an eyelash. Nor did he flinch as Ignis screamed in anger. He was no longer the coward hiding behind Ignis, relying upon him for strength.
とはいえ他ならぬ尊敬する兄貴からのご要望お望み通りシンプルにお答えするっす。
Well, this took a turn that I never expected, so let's see. However, I will oblige. You're my inspiration, bro. I'll lay it out, just as you asked.
天井に描かれているビニトルの先祖その魔獣は
Listen, that's the ancestor of the firewolves drawn there in the
か
ceiling.
つてこのベスティアであらゆる魔獣と人間をほふり世界を破滅寸前まで追いやった化け物なんすよ。
Oh dear. That monster once brought Bestia to the brink of annihilation because it slaughtered man and beast alike.
化け物
Monster? That was...
これでわかっただろう。イグニス、てめえはな。
Now do you understand? Ignis, you
ベ
are...
スティアでただ一人の魔獣でもなんでもね
You are in
え。化け
Bestia.
物なんだよ。
Nothing but a monster. Ignis recalled the fated conversation.
まさか
So,
イグニスの暴走本能って
what you're saying is that Ignis's rampage instinct.
そうその通りこの化け物の子孫ゆえの本能っす。
Bingo! You got it. He got it from this ancient monster.
とはいえビニトルの中でも特に色濃く化け物の血を継いでいる兄貴にしか起こらないことっすけど
Having said that, my bro here is the only firewolf that seems to be carrying on his ancestors' legacy.
ドロミーその口ぶりからしてお前はイグニスの暴走本能について気がついているのか
Judging by the way you speak, Have you known about Ignis's rampage instinct all along?
もちろんっす。兄貴のことなら何でも把握してるっすよ。
So he was playing dumb this whole time. What an underhanded bitch. Of course! When it comes to my bro, I know everything.
兄貴が行った大虐殺の時も実はバッチリ見てたっす。
In the past, I saw it all. I watched my bro commit mass murder and I never said a peep. What? His confession rang as words of betrayal to Ignis.
全部知ってて黙ってやがったのか。
You knew everything and kept quiet this entire time? Why? And for what purpose?
別に教えてもいいっすけど。
Well, I could have told you, but...
それよりいいんすか？ビニトルたちを孤立させちゃって。
Well, more importantly, you think it's smart leaving the firewolves alone right now?
あのコロロの仲間探しの時の騒動みたいに。
When Kororo took all of his little friends on that wild goose chase,
あそこにいい狩り場があるって俺が
wow,
アルム
you
また情報を流しちゃったっす。
You fucking traitor! Holy shit! I might have told the Minotaurs about a good hunting spot around here. For old time's sake, you know? Dromi. No. He said as much with a chuckle. Ignis's face dropped and he immediately sprinted towards the shrine's entrance. Ignis? Wait!
追いかけるよ。イグニスを一人にしちゃダメだ。
After him, we can't let Ignis go alone.
おっとお客さんが舞台に上がるのはマナー違反っす。
Wait. Somehow I have a sneaking suspicion about something else. But I will not voice it just yet. Hold your horses! The audience isn't allowed to get up on stage. Joey lowered her shoulders as if on cue. Fuck! Then a deranged band of minotaurs came rushing into the cave.
ことね、コロロを抱えて下がれ。
Kotane, take Kororo and stand back!
いや、それよりも一層逃げてくれた方がいいかもね。
No, I have a better idea. Get out of
ここ
here.
は君たちが暴れるには狭すぎる。下手したら彼女ごと巻き添えだ。
We can't afford to slip up. One wrong move and we could hurt her by accident.
同感。
Agreed.
弱って戦えない君もやばい。彼女と一緒にアルムムたちの包囲網から抜け出せる。
Ill, you're in no shape to fight either. Think you can sneak her out of the Minotaur ambush?
はい、その程度でしたら。ことね、急いでコロロを。
Yes, I should be able to. Kotane, grab Kororo, quick. Sure. As soon as I wrapped Kororo in my arms, Ill carried me in turn. Just as a Minotaur charged at us from behind. Ill kicked at the ground. He flew, nearly scraping the ceiling on the way out so he could escape from the cave. Motherfucker! He just betrayed us just like that. Alright, give me a mod. Wait, normally I don't save until I'm at the next chapter, but I'm just gonna put this as a pause setting. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go away for 5 to 10 minutes. Need to stock up on water and I kinda wanna eat something, so I'll be back. back, and what perfect timing I had when I stepped out for a bit. Apparently, boss ordered Thai food because he was having Thai food cravings. And that's what I've been eating while I was away.
さーて、じゃ、常連さんたちが立ち回ってる間に、俺もおいとまするっすかね。
You son of a bitch! Well then, guess I could let the regulars dance around for a bit before I skedaddle. Welcome back, LycorisDreams. Hehe. Thank you, Yuzo. And oh, I see that you redeemed the head pats, when I ended up being on, out of commission for a bit. So thank you for the head pats. Thank you, thank you.
楽しみだな。
Ah, I can't wait.
もうすぐっすよ、兄貴。
Soon. Soon, bro. Did not expect to be betrayed in this way. Holy shit. I dashed towards the stronghold, noticing the setting sun plunging Bestia into darkness. Yep, this is Ignis' point of view now. I alone illuminated the darkness as I cut through the frigid air, running as fast as my legs would take me. The flames covering my body flared wildly, mirroring the chaos that stormed inside me. Come on, come on, come on! The firewolves had suffered enough, especially at my hands, and I couldn't let their numbers dwindle anymore. I'd been lied to my entire life, I was feared, I was used. It all felt heavy on my shoulders for sure. I felt betrayed, but even so, they were still my kin, the last of my people. I'll never let anything horrible happen to them ever again. This time, I would protect them. This time, I would save their lives. All my hopes and convictions. Shit! No! Disintegrated in my palm. My eyes were fixated on the scene, a familiar sight I had long since buried. Huts and bodies, charred as the firewolf torches waned in the distance. Blood and soot soaked the snow. Not a single firewolf was spared. The man I called uncle all these years tumbled on the ground, disposed of, forgotten. What I saw there instead were the Minotaurs, hacking at their opponents relentlessly, showing no mercy to whomever stood in their way. Their eyes, they were clouded, disgusting. As soon as they noticed my presence, their eyes bulged open. My vision went red. My heart was ready to burst from my chest. Searing heat covered my body, a sensation that radiated from my body's core. If I were to give into this heat, Leiko! Ah, Saiba! Hi! It's been a long time, so welcome to the stream. How are you? There could only be one outcome. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't kill. Hold it in. I'm fine, and you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. What you doing? How are you? You know, streaming CAFÉ, ENCHANTÉ, and into Ignis' route and all that. I've been okay, recovering from iron deficiency and such and such. In the future, violence doesn't have to be the answer. I want to believe in a future where we live in peace. Don't. The one she had faith in, but it was useless. I was submitting to my base self. Ah, yes, I remember now. Each time that I lost my sanity, or came close to doing so, it involved the smell of blood. No, an appetizing aroma filled my nostrils, consumed by my waking thought. My rampage instinct lay dormant inside me, crying out its cravings. It commanded me. It wanted me to feed upon every living being in sight. Oh no. Oh no. Il managed to dodge the Minotaur's swinging arms one after the other. We flew out of the cave as I hugged Kororo tighter against me, and we were lifted into the cold Bestian sky.
なんとか逃げ切れましたか。
We've escaped with our lives. Just as Il squinted his eyes, we heard flames erupt in the distance. Oh no. To neither of our surprise, we glanced over to the direction of the sound. Right beneath us, the firewolf stronghold glowed a faint red of crimson. Don't tell me, was it?
他の魔獣に襲撃を受けたようですね。おそらくイグニスもあの場にいるのでしょう。
The stronghold is under attack. I am afraid that Ignis too is there. Il, we have to go there too.
申し訳ありませんが、その願いは聞き入れられません。
Unfortunately, I cannot grant that
今
request.
の私にあなたを護衛できる能力は残っていません。このままアンシャンテのゲートに避難します。
I haven't had much strength left. Certainly not enough to protect you. We must head directly to the enchanted gate and evacuate. But Ignis...
大丈夫です。彼の実力ならば敗北することはありえないでしょう。ですから。
He will be alright. With his strength, it's unlikely he will come under any harm, so... Il's eyes shot open. We felt an intense ray of heat, one that could normally occur in such a frozen world coming from below. Il let out a sharp gasp, shifting his weight to mid-flight to avoid it, but his trembling wings were slow to react. Oh shit. Ignis must have transformed and everything. A giant storm of flames surrounded us. Il? Il's wings were exposed and burned by the raging flames exploding below. I heard Il cry out in agony before my vision became suddenly blurry. We dropped into the flaming maelstrom, down into the firewolf stronghold. A small distance away, Kororo laid there, passed out. We fell from quite a height, but somehow both Kororo and I survived the fall. Luckily, neither of us were seriously hurt. I spotted Il lying unconscious beside me. Seemed as though his quick reaction was more than enough to spare us our lives, for which I felt immense gratitude.
申し訳ありません。お怪我はありませんか？
Il, forgive me. Are you hurt at all? I'm alright, but Il, you're...
この程度なら人間界に戻れば回復します。それよりもまずは状況の把握を。
This is nothing to worry about. I will recover once we return to the human world. More importantly, what is going on here? At Il's prompting, I surveyed around us. Judging by our immediate surroundings, we landed within the firewolf stronghold. However, the horror began to set in as I realized I recognized no part of the secluded, humble stronghold in the chaos. It was a massacre, a force that left no stone unturned, all-consuming and deadly. A flaming tempest that ate all in its path. I watched as red sparks bounced off of armor, swallowed by snow. The white wonderland was painted with colors of a grisly, brutal nature. A hot wind fanned by the flames carried with them a strong stench of iron, the scent of which wafted from the trampled corpses lying in the snow. At the center of it all was... Shit. Ignis. The curt, heavy-handed, but most of all kind Ignis. He and his aura shone a brilliant red. It was as if he was bathed in the blood of his foes. But how could that be? Relative to his ghastly appearance, there weren't too many corpses. What happened to all the others? Where did the blood come from? Little by little, I urged my trembling self onward to look further up. The answer was right there. His mouth, thick, viscous trails of blood dripped from the corners of his lips. When I looked closer, it looked as though he bit onto something into his mouth, and after chewing a couple of times, he gulped it down. Without having to think, my instincts told me exactly what I was looking at. Choked with fear, I could hardly muster a loud scream, but he managed to pick up on what little sound I did make. After suddenly twitching his nose, as if in reaction to my scent, his dreamy eyes darted over to me, a sharp focused glance. He eyed me with a predatory gaze, like I was a delicious meal. Dinner time? What do you mean he got a late night dinner? Oh gosh. Just as Ignis took a step forward, readying to lunge at me, the surrounding snow around him melted and evaporated, as if devoured by him. I gasped out of panic, and his body burst into flame.
Kotone, sagatte!
Kotone, stand back! Hill stepped in front of me, but he had already used up all of his strength and was at his body's limit. He stood in front of the menacing wolf who had marched up to us without fear. The wolf laughed savagely. He dug his claws into his defensive prey. Oh no. Splashes of red dispersed through the air. Il's slender body was shredded and eviscerated by the frightening inferno. His angelic body dropped face down into his own pool of blood. No! Blood soaked through his body and drenched the clothing around his inanimate self. He fell atop the crumpled remains of his black and white feathers. There was no hint of color or familiarity in Ignis's eyes as the wolf looked coldly at his comrade. He couldn't even scream. Alas, I was falling apart. I was ready to collapse. Reality was too intense to face. I wanted nothing more than to cook for us. My teeny tiny dream, the small fantasy I had for the two of us. Ignis reached his hand over to Il, who laid there collapsed in his blood. Oh no! Ignis wrapped his fingers around the angel's neck, lifting him up with ease. Then he opened his mouth wide. He slowly pulled Il's unconscious body towards his gaping maw. It was easy to predict what he was going to do next. I...
その価値観を変えたいと思ってベスティアのトップに立ったんだ。
Wow, Saiba. I climbed to the top of Bestia, hoping one day I could change it.
誰の血も流さず魔獣の頂点に立てば
If I could become the greatest fighter without shedding any blood.
少しぐらいは影響を受ける魔獣が出てくるかと思ったんだよ。
I thought that maybe one day it would inspire some beasts out there. No! Please don't do this. Stop! Don't throw away who you are. Don't abandon your dream. Just before Ignis sank his fang into Ill's flesh, he tossed the angel aside. I felt compelled to protect Ill, and I stood before Ignis with my arms outstretched. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Come back, Ignis! This is not you! This isn't why you trained your entire life, is it? I cried out at Ignis, trying to appeal to him with the first words that came to mind, but all my pleading could accomplish was redirecting the firewolves here toward me instead. Ig! Ah! Interrupted by a severe throbbing pain, Ignis sank his razor-sharp fangs into my arm. But I realized it a moment too late as my own blood splattered onto his face. Adrenaline numbed the pain, but my head spun. The only thing rooting me to my current predicament was the dreadful sound of my flesh being ripped apart. Ignis! Stop! My pleading voice never reached him. Ignis only sipped and licked the blood trickling down my arm and... Ah! He ripped a piece of flesh off of me. Guts. After neutralizing the Minotaurs, we hurried toward the Firewolf stronghold. What Messire and the rest of the party witnessed was... Oh dear. Guys. Have a nice meal, Ignis? That's too ominous. Far-reaching patches of blood, corpses thrown into haphazard piles, the relentless flames surrounding them, and... Ill, who lied on the snow unconscious. His wings were torn and bald, and his atrocious injuries dyed his hair and clothing in blood. Ah! To the side, we saw him bite into Kotene's arm, ripping off her flesh. It was one of our fellow Enchanté regulars, our friend, or so we thought. Ignis, our once thought to be ally, wiped the splattered blood off his face, shooting a fearless glance in our direction. As we stood there stunned, the quickest to react to the tragic scene was Canis. Shame on you, Saiba, for breaking immersion one inappropriate message after another. Oh, that is right, and for that... There you go. The swing of Canis' mighty sword blew Ignis back with a cannon's force. Under normal circumstances, the sheer power of Canis' attack would have torn Ignis' torso in half. But Ignis summoned a wall of flames to dull the impact of the knight's oncoming strike, sparing himself from harm. Ignis moved purely on instinct. He twitched, realizing the path to his prey was obstructed, and showed his fangs. Wake up, Ignis! Ignis kicked at the ground, lunging at a speed too fast for the naked eye. And... Kotene, freed from Ignis' grasp, fell to her knees in excruciating pain. Blood begins to gush from her wounds, which she cleansed with her free hand. The blood shows no sign of stopping. Canis and Ignis, meanwhile, were locked in a lightning-quick exchange of blows no human could see.
Kotone! Iru!
Kotone! Ew! What is going on here? Messire and Rindo sprinted over to the two wounded members, hastily tending to their injuries. They eyed each other and rushed in. Rindo went to Kotone and Messire went to Ill. They first cast a simple barrier to shield them from any impact from the duel. Ill, hang in there. Messire clutched Ill's blood-soaked body in his arms and cried out his name. No soft-spoken words escaped the angel's lips. and his breaths began to slow. Meanwhile... No small amount of blood began to pour down from Kotane's slender arm. Kotane was succumbing to traumatic shock from the punishing magnitude of pain. And Hermetic Rindo, whose brow began to sweat as the pressure mounted, hesitated, asking her to remain calm.
そのまま傷を押さえて応急処置をするから。
Keep applying pressure on the wound. I'll apply some first aid. Rindo fell back onto a practical solution, eyeing and ripping his handkerchief from his person to fashion a makeshift clotter. Witnessing this, Messire... Damn! I am a destroyer. I do not possess the power to ease Kotane and Il's pains. He gently stashed away his regret and set Il upon the cold ground delicately. Then he switched gears, honing in on the sole mission to stop Ignis. He raised his hand. Try as he might, Canis' blade could not penetrate either of Ignis' blazing fists.
早い。
Well fought! Although Canis' footwork was deftly tested by the pace of Ignis' heightened beastly movements. Canis blocked each one of his foe's punches with ease, making the tense duel an even one. In the midst of all this... Canis, jump back as far as you can.
心得た。
Oh, roger that. He did as instructed and leapt back. Left open, Ignis reacted by immediately racing towards Canis, but... Whoops, sorry. Just kidding. Once Messire barked out his command, a spell was cast, and a large shadow swelled over Ignis' head. The shadow belonged to a giant iceberg, which soon was flung at an alarming velocity, ready to crush the body of its target upon impact. However, with the power of his attuned reflexes, Ignis ignited the flames covering his body moments before impact. The flames burned at a temperature so intense, the whole icy meteor nearly melted, dispersing it into shattered chunks. But nevertheless, the immense impact and blast from the heavy ball of ice was felt. Oh shit! Please come back to normal! At last, Ignis' eyes returned to normal, indicating he had returned. Oh no. Oh no, he's gonna be racked by guilt and then he's gonna go ahead and leave. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. It was loud. My head was being knocked around by some deafening explosion. Sharp bits of icicle floated down, tickling my skin. The red of my vision went away, reverting everything back to normal. I winced at a massive surge of shame. It occurred to me that I had no idea where I'd been in the last couple of hours. What was I doing? Where was I? Huh? What happened? What was I doing this whole time? Just as my vision cleared up and focus returned.
正気に戻ったか、イグニス。
Ignis, you're back to normal. Canis was the first to pop into vision. Canis, why are you pointing that sword at me? My breath left me as tall flames burned behind Canis, and the smell of smoke stung my nose. Don't tell me. I refused to believe it. My throat tensed up. I couldn't speak. I looked around. Bodies of my kin, the corpses of the minotaurs were stacked atop each other. Right in front of me, the tip of Canis' sword was pointed, shaky and cautious. Messire and Rindo seemed guarded too. Laying next to Messire's feet, I saw Il, mangled and torn up, covered in blood, and the one Rindo held in his arms was... Kotane? Kotane clenched a patched up spot on her arm, and her face filled with terror. Soon as our eyes met, I reflexively gulped down something that was still in my mouth. Huh? What was that? What did I just swallow? Why did it smell and taste of iron? Fucking traitor! Come on, you know exactly what it is. You know it's not healthy to be so delusional, don't you, bro? A pair of feet tap danced lightly around the massacred ground, approaching me. But man, talk about a view. How nice! Dromi arrived, and unlike how Kotane looked at me fearfully, this is what war looks like. What it truly means to be a beast. I knew it. Everything from that day is as real as I remember. Dromi's eyes glowed with intense awe, dumbstruck as the flames towered behind my bloody body. I watched Dromi for a minute, then tossed him a throwaway question. Dromi, you... Are you the one behind all this? The Minotaurs in the human world. All the bloodshed that happens every time I set foot back into godforsaken Bestia. You're the one pulling the strings here, just so I'd break out into a rampage. Yes, sir! Exactamundo! I knew you had some brains up there, bro. But man, I thought these humans were just pests. Turns out they've got some use to them. It would have taken us ages if all you had to smell and bathe yourself in was beast blood. Hearing the word blood, Kotane's body jolted. Anyway, we're getting off track. Time to wake up. Listen, bro, you... You beat the living crap out of those nice cafe regulars, and in the end... You feasted on that girl's harm, not to mention the Minotaurs too. Seems like you really enjoy devouring them, don't you? He accused Ignis with a deranged smile. His ridiculous claim, it seemed, was the answer we were looking for all along. Devouring? A beast that eats. Stashed by the threatening veil of my ability to rampage was another, more terrifying ability which I alone had. After all, the Minotaurs had to drug themselves just to make an attempt on my life. The truth was, no one knew why the fire wolves disappeared all those years ago, but the cost of learning all of this was just too great. Damn you! Fueled by nothing more than rage, I swung my fists at Dromi, but... Whoa! Despite how many swipes I took at Dromi, he evaded each blow by a hair. But they weren't perfect dodges. I managed to yank his favorite bandana with my fist, and it glided to the ground. Something weird happened. It was as if Dromi's expression changed at the drop of his bandana. At last! At last! My dream come true! That snively persona you have. The tame pushover regular Enchanté is fake! This is your true form, Catastrophe, a cannibalistic monster. That's who you are! A cannibalistic monster. The words hit me in the gut. It was time I accepted my destiny. I caused the destruction of this place. I dropped to my knees. The crimson-stained snow, the sobering stench of charred iron, to think of all those who fester inside of me. I tried my best to purge my body of it all, but I couldn't. Despair, loss, rage. These emotions are shoved down my throat, ready to burst on a whim. I roar so loud, the heavens quake. But there to make a mockery of it all is, of course, come on! This pathetic wasteland is ready to blow. Your time has come, Ignis Carbunculus. Or should I say, the reborn... The world devourer, Doom incarnate, Vanar! The heretic of Doom had resurrected in fire. God, fuck, I really don't want to leave it here, but... God, I will have to stop for now. Fuck! That... I'm gonna have to save here. Alright, I'm saving. And again, unintentionally, of course, this bloody frickin' cliffhanger. I know, Yuzu. I'm about to go cry in a corner because... Jesus fuck. Man! Too much shit going around today. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here for tonight. I'm sorry. Alright. Thank you all for tuning into my stream today. Tomorrow I will be playing Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. I'll be at 8 o'clock Pacific. 8 p.m. Pacific. In particular. 11 p.m. Eastern. 11 a.m. Philippine time. And 5 a.m. Central Europe time. Oh god. I just don't know what to think right now. But yeah. I'm also just gonna go log off because small headache is forming. But then again, it means I'll have to eat and drink more. So yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.